Welcome back to the party, everybody. I am your host, Lutch, aka The Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you, and let's party. Big shout out to the replay gang. Thank you so much for coming back to watch us, even though you missed the live party. Guys, make sure you are here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I know it was a couple minutes late today, but I'm usually on time, and sometimes I go live whenever I feel like it. So hit that subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss an Indian Jesus live party ever again. If you'd like to support the channel, head on over to TheIndianJesus.com for your very own official Indian Jesus merch. We do also have a completely free Discord server, guys. It is absolutely free to join 24/7. We are in there hanging out, having a good time. Come and join like-minded people. And like I said, when we're in there 24/7, having a good time. But if you become a member of this channel, all you got to do is scroll right below the video and hit that join button. Not only do you get members-only live streams here on YouTube, but it actually gives you full access to the Discord server, which includes the after party. That is right. As soon as we are done here, we are going into the voice chat where we don't have to worry about the YouTube censors, and you guys are not stuck behind your keyboard. You're actually on screen with me and everybody else. It is a good time. Come and join us. Shout out to 6 Drops in the building. We got Nick Lou Ketty. We got Guam Tech in the building. What is good? What is good? Oh, shout out to Unwanted Foe just getting his 12-month badge. There you go. There you go. So, I mean, that's actually good timing because this is more in line with the type of stream that I originally wanted to do, is to be able to just kind of hop on and be like, hey guys, what's up? Let's watch some funny videos. Let's watch some good videos. Let's watch some, whatever is going on throughout the day. So I figured, it's the holiday weekend, and I didn't know how many people were going to be around. So I gathered some videos for us to watch, and they're not really going to be necessarily connected, but, just a bunch of stuff for us to talk about. And I figured we can start off with the video that had me late. If you are a member of the Discord, you will see all the time that our resident liberals will always be dropping videos from David Pakman. Well, I was just setting up the stream and I saw this video and I was watching it and I was like, oh no, I'm late. So check out what we've got here. And real quick, let's shout out Carl Johansson. Welcome to the party. Set a face made for radio and voice made for chat. Well, that is perfectly fine, even in Discord. If you don't want to cam up, you don't have to. You can just be on screen like this, or you can show your beautiful face, which I'm sure you guys are all way more beautiful than you let on. Welcome. As always, guys, if you cannot hear the video, please do let me know. Actually, we turn this back down. Had the subtitles up. We did a vertical stream from down here yesterday, and I don't think I'm going to be doing that as often. I mean, obviously the quality of this camera is better than the one that I have on my laptop, but the way that this is set up and the way that the stream goes, it cuts off like this much of the video. So I don't know. Anyway, a little bit of housekeeping. So as always, if you cannot hear your video, please do let me know.
As you know, we recently had progressive commentator David Pakman on the show.
We were delighted to have David on because we wanted to have another good faith conversation with someone on the progressive left.
Good faith to us means we let our guests speak, we challenge politely and seek to balance areas where we agree with areas where we disagree during the interview.
It means that when someone makes a good point, we accept it, and when we can't agree, we probe a bit before moving on.
And finally, it means that we don't cherry pick bits of the interviews to make our guests look bad. We don't misrepresent them, and we don't go into the conversation to destroy them. We go in to hear what they have to say.
And the great thing about David is he believes in good faith discussion as well.
So, I mean, we've, covered trigonometry a number of times. It seems like whatever these podcasts, they seem to go on a run of like good guests, and then it kind of dries up for a while. I don't really know, because I mean, no shade to trigonometry, but they something a little lackluster compared to what they were maybe 6-8 months ago. But yeah, David Pakman being David Pakman.
Previously on Trigonometry.
Beautiful. So are you guys open to a good faith conversation about that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Or does he?
Shout out to Honest Trailers. These are all just so this seems to be the usual lazy labeling of anyone who has a different opinion or even dares to question the predominant left-wing narrative as being right-wing. After they invited you on in good faith, this is pretty low, even down to personal criticisms and so on and so forth. Just a bunch of comments calling out exactly what he did.
After smearing us in good faith by calling us right-wing, David then proceeds by selecting a representative clip of the interview.
Let's get now to my interview with the right-wing Trigonometry. Let's pick it up. Oh, I don't know. We did Biden administration. Okay, yeah, let's pick it up where we were and listen.
Operations could have gone better. Do you think that's...
When Trump was getting that
I mean, that is why they named the channel that. But yes, the Trigonometry, that's what they call their name. Also, remember when MI6 was caught funding BreadTube? Trigonometry is MI6 BreadTube, but the right-wing version instead of the commie version. Okay, fair enough. I'm not fully sure what all that means. No, I don't remember when MI6 was caught funding BreadTube, so I'm not sure, but I'll take your word for it.
was a quagmire.
Eventually, David finds the bit where he genuinely shows me up to be underprepared. What I would say is I think some progress was made in a very difficult situation. I don't claim that the situation became dramatically different and we are now like way towards a solution. And also, I think I'd also concede that it's not an issue I know enough about to have a proper discussion with you as well.
That's fair. We can table it on that basis.
He's all about good faith.
So are we, which is why I will say he caught me out not being able to back up what I said. I was right, even many...
Shout out to Indie Film. Welcome to the party. Guys, as we go throughout this stream, if you can tell why I got up, I started the video and I got up. If you can tell why I got up, there's something, and you're not allowed to rewind the video. If you can tell why I got up, I'll send you a $5 cash app. But I don't, yeah, it has to be because, legit, you can't rewind the video. Honor system.
Say he caught me out not being able to back up what I said. I was right. Even many Trump critics admitted that he had made progress in the Middle East, but not being able to cite specifics is my bad. Well done to David for catching me out. In good faith.
We couldn't work out why David decided to show such good faith, but then it came to us.
This is an interview on the right-wing channel Trigonometry, and it's getting flooded with comments antagonizing me. So we've been brigading the video and leaving like comically positive comments.
We've been brigading the video. Bro, are you 12? In case you're not familiar with what that means.
David Pakman is authentically... These comments are so positive from you guys that to us, to our community, they're obviously a joke.
In other words, some of you didn't agree with him and he got upset. He got so upset that he encouraged his audience to leave fake comments on the interview. In good faith.
So I think the comment bombs have probably been noticed at this point in time.
Now, we would never selectively edit something he said. We'll show you what he said in context instead.
Here they go like, are you suggesting that a lot of Trump followers are stupid? And I'm like, yeah, they were like,
David, can I, in the spirit of a very...
This is the best.
Good faith but honest conversation,
Please.
Can I feed back to you what it sounds like you just said from where I'm sitting?
Yes.
Which is, Francis was saying to you...
Look at the smile on his face. He knows he's about to get a clip that he could bring back and do exactly what he's doing with his own audience and doesn't care at all that he looks like a douchebag to the rest of the world, because look what's right at the top of the chat. Money in his pocket.
There's a large portion of the American public who are so alienated by some of the rhetoric on the left that they had to resort to voting for Donald Trump. That's his argument. And what you said is, no, that isn't really the problem. The problem is Americans are ill-educated and quite stupid and fall for Trump's bombastic statements. That's what it sounds like. Did I hear you right?
It's a combination of both.
Okay.
Now, here's one thing about
But isn't that, sorry, David, just to finish this point, isn't that always the case, though? I mean, it's not like the public got massively more stupid and
I thought you said, oh my goodness. That didn't seem like what happened.
ill-educated in the last 4 years, right? Or the last 6 years. So
Well,
people have
I don't
always,
know
there's
about
always
that.
been... Apparently, admitting that he thinks the reason people disagree with him is that they're stupid and uneducated is the best bit. He actually thinks that the discord, rancor, and bitterness of the last 6 years will be resolved by the exact sort of sneering that got Trump elected in the first place.
When we continue to challenge him on this, ironically, he does a Trump. Double down.
Wouldn't you accept that these movements, these right-wing populist movements, we also had this here in the UK with Brexit, and it's an issue that probably I don't want to assume, but you may know less about it than we do, and certainly we would say in this country that the same arguments were made, these are stupid, racists, whatever people, but actually if you speak to a lot of people who voted this way, which we didn't, neither of us did, but if you speak to those people, their concerns were not based around ill education or whatever, but it was there were some issues that they were raising that were not being reflected in the public debate, that were dismissed, and certainly from our perspective, it seemed like there were some parallels with the United States. So it's not that people got more stupid or less educated, it's more that their concerns were being more and more ignored by the left-wing parties, and they were...
So, I mean, obviously, there's more here, and since we didn't have a particular video, whenever we watch something, I will put the link in the chat. So, especially if you're on the replay, if you would like to check out any of the videos that we are watching, they will be in the chat. So, that is, just a little aside as to, what got me a little bit distracted before we came on stream. But what I really wanted to do was if you're in Discord, you can see that I've been populating the Let's Links channel with a whole bunch of videos. And some of them are funny, some of them are a little bit deeper, some of them are politics, some of them are dating, but I think they're all within the realm of stuff that we usually talk about, and maybe not something big enough to do an entire stream. But definitely something that I want to talk to you guys about with. So we are going to try to find the funniest video, the best video, and we'll have to come up with a third category. But we are going to denote all three by the end of this stream. Before we do that, shout out to Unwanted Foe. Oh my goodness, with 10 gifted memberships. Look at that. Look at that. Let's get Morty. He's been in the Chihuahua shake. He wouldn't even go outside before. I don't know what's going on, but apparently Unwanted Foe is good enough for him because he said, yes, please. Shout out to the Plungecast, Lord Shadowfrost, Garrett Grant, LJB, Cardboard Kenny, Ayush Gupta, Caesar, Vincent, Cattywampus, and Freddie. You guys are now members of the channel. Make sure that you join the Discord because you now have full access to the server. Thanks to Unwanted Foe. Coming up again, out sponsoring himself with the $10. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Starting off hot. Thank you so very much. Of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Thank you so very much, sir. All right, so let's check out what we got here. I don't even remember. What did I title this one? I don't even remember what we're doing. So we're going in blind. Let's see what we got. Play.
That some people listen to somebody on here once said that some people listen to the beat of music and some people listen to the lyrics, and I have not been able to listen to music the same sense because I'm a beat girl. I listen to like the rhythm of it. I have no rhythm myself, but I only listen to like the instruments or like.
This is something that, okay, so the reason that I saved this one was because I'd never been able to articulate, exactly this for my whole life. Like there's songs that I've known for 20 years and I still don't know the lyrics to them because I just don't listen to lyrics like that. I listen to the music, I listen to the beat, I listen to all that stuff. So which one are you?
But I only listen to like the instruments or like the beat of the song. And that's why I'll never know the lyrics. I have no idea if we are singing the most disgusting lyrics. And I'll play a song for like somebody and they'll be like, are you listening to this? And I'm like, yeah, are you listening to this? And they'll be like, no, do you hear what they just said? And I'm like, no, don't listen to the lyrics. That's why sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the best song in the world. And some people are like, I mean, it's all right. It's because I'm listening to like the song and they're listening to the lyrics. And that's why I always butcher the lyrics. I will never get a lyric right. And I've tried. I like have to read them and I still get them wrong. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I think that's so interesting.
Yeah, I had never realized that there were so many people like that. And oh shit, let me get the hold on. So I was gonna get links. I was gonna get links. Hold on. Copy link. Oh, right. But yeah, as somebody who's been a musician for my whole life, I started playing music when I was 5 years old. And I just thought that was a me thing that, like I would try. And I mean, obviously, I would be able to read lyrics and remember lyrics. And then there's songs that, everybody knows the lyrics to. But I just always found that interesting that I'm not crazy. It's just you're in one camp or the other. One camp or the other. Six Drop says, I got to absorb the whole song. See, I think I agree. But to me, absorbing the whole song means not necessarily paying attention to one particular part, which is why especially as what Glante says, depending on the song and the artist, yeah, like if you're listening to Tool, then to absorb the whole song, like you can't be paying that much attention to the lyrics. And I mean, obviously, you listen to something enough, you'll get it all. But I just thought that was really, really interesting. And again, that's something that when am I ever going to get to share that with you guys? I'm a huge lover of music. It's been a part of I mean, ever since I got into politics and stuff, I've been focusing on that and podcasts and news a lot more. But yeah, I just yeah, there you go. Some of us are freaks. That is exactly what I'm trying to say. There you go. But yeah, Gomsek said, Tool, 9 Inch Nails, and A Perfect Circle always get me with lyrics. See, I'm surprised that Tool would get you with lyrics because obviously we all know. And then I know the melody down, like I know that. I've heard it a bajillion times, but I have no idea what he's saying because that bass line is so good. How are you not paying attention to that bass line the whole song? Obviously, they don't listen to Slipknot and Static X. I don't really care what they're saying. So is it more of a clean vocals versus screaming for you? Or because that would make more sense. That would make more sense if that's what you're saying. Because it doesn't work that way for me. If there's plenty of stuff that's like, it's all screaming, and yet I know the lyrics because maybe it's, part of a breakdown or something, or it's not as interesting musically at that part. And so my brain is able to get the lyrics. I don't know. Carlos said, I think the unintelligible lyrics are on purpose. They can use lyrics you don't hear to subconsciously program you. Melodies too. Part of Plato's cave. What happened to Occam's razor? What or Hamlin's razor? That doesn't sound like Occam's or Hamlin's. I'm gonna say maybe this exists somewhere, but I think in general, I'm gonna disagree. Six Drop said it takes more than lettuce to make a salad. It takes more than just the parts to make a song. Agreed. All right. So again, I'm new to jumping around like this, so I'm not gonna have any good transitions. But I'm just gonna be like, all right, let's move on. So this is one for you video game nerds. Oh, hold on. Why are we not playing? A reasonable question. Nope. Oh, Jesus. Take three. Are you kidding me? The sound isn't available. Boo. Oh, this is going to be a good one. I'll play it, and you can see while I find the next one. I knew I wasn't doing something wrong. Let's see what this one is. So I have them like listed in my in one of these channels. You can
It's time for an FAQ on
look at the videos if you want. But I have them listed by like keyword and stuff, so I don't fully know what it is. And this one, you know, the joke is kind of right there that you're playing The Sims with your girlfriend, and she's just like doing real life stuff, which is like, why are you playing a game if you're just going to be doing real life stuff? All right, let's see what this one is. Again, I do not remember what most of these are. I just remember that there's a reason that I wanted to share them. Carlos, anyone who works in the music industry will tell you it's part of Plato's cave. They choose artists based on look and message, but not based on talent. Many can't play their instruments. I mean, yeah, maybe at like the corporate level, but not every musical act is on a corporate record deal.
It's time for an FAQ on the holy text that my schizophrenic grandfather wrote for the religion that he created. I kind of skimmed through the comments on my last video, and I want to touch on the points that I feel like I saw the most. So
okay, interesting. So her grandfather created a religion, and this gigantic thing is the Bible.
let's go. The official name of the religion is the Church of Lord Messiah Jesus Christ of Millennial Day Saints, which if you know about Mormonism, it's extremely similar to their name. It's the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Again, that was the last religion that he joined before he started writing this. And if you know anything about Mormon lore and how it was founded, Joseph Smith, the founder of the Mormon Church, decided that there was no true religion on the face of the earth, so he created his own. And my grandpa kind of had the opposite idea, where he kind of felt like all of the religions were right. They were like connected in this through line throughout history. So
I'm not mad at that. This is what I'm saying. How do you know that this is not the actual book of all religions?
the way this book is set up, it's a chronological book of all the prophets throughout time from Adam to Ezra Taft Benson. The book is 2,242 pages long, 50 of which are the table of contents, and it's broken up into 7 different epics throughout history.
Damn.
So as I said, my grandfather handwrote all of this, and my grandma was the one that typed it all up. She actually used to work as a medical transcriptionist, so she would work on this while she was at work. And so there's no digital copy in existence. She hand typed it, and they actually created their own publishing company to get it self-published. So there's really only the 4 copies in existence. My dad thinks there's a chance they sent one to the National Library, but he's not sure. I also saw a lot of comments asking if this symbol was from Zoroastrianism. Yes, it is. It was one of the many influences in this book, one of the many religions that he found truth in.
I think the reason I wanted to share this with you guys is to show how maybe not easily, but how wide of a scope you can get with just typical religious stuff that already exists. How far off the plantation, we would all agree. I don't think anybody actually would follow that as a dogmatically, but it's all there. Why is that any different than the King James Bible? So I'll take her as a wife if her grandfather cult still makes money. There you go. That's thinking.
And no, nobody has read it all the way through. The one with the most comprehensive knowledge about it is obviously my grandma, because she typed it out. But none of my dad's siblings have read it. None of my siblings or cousins have read it. I mean, it would just be a lot to sit down to hunker down and read, for sure. I'll definitely be starting a series where I read bits and pieces of it, where I break it down a little bit more. So if you have any suggestions for how you'd like that formatted, please let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm so happy you guys are interested in.
So, I mean, obviously, she hasn't done that, but I do have that, in the algorithm. I liked the video and I commented on it. So hopefully, if she ends up doing that, that might be a whole series that we can do. Well, I mean, hopefully her TikTok account is the abridged version. Just imagine religious folks carrying around that book is hilarious. Yeah, right. You got to get a backpack and like. No, you gotta. Didn't in the old days? Didn't they have like straps where you put it on your around your book and then you kind of flap it over your back like that? Am I making that up, or is that a TV thing? Or I don't know. There's something like that. I don't know. But again, just very interesting how you can see how far and wide this notion of religion and faith and belief and all that kind of stuff, how far that it actually goes. So the next time you think that you know what you know, remember that there's somebody who believes something completely different from you that thinks they know just as well as you do. Yeah, I'll take the audiobook. That would take how long? Oh my goodness. That would take forever. All right, so we got another one diving back into the generation gaps. Let's see why millennials and Gen Z are depressed. Why millennials and Gen Z?
You want to know why it seems like millennials and Gen Z are just the most depressed generations ever? It's because we are. But there's a real reason for that. Millennials and Gen Z are honestly the first two generations to see the bullshit for what it was. And not only that, we're the first two generations to actually speak out against the bullshit. Like me, for example.
Speaking out against the bullshit. What was one of the biggest things that we got from that Gen X video? Is that, oh, we saw the bullshit, but we were outnumbered and we couldn't do this and that and that and that. And maybe very valid excuses, but excuses nonetheless. We're the first generation to actually call out the bullshit.
Is to actually speak out against the bullshit. Like me, for example, I'm a millennial. I'm a younger millennial. I was born in 1991, which essentially is just 6 years before Gen Z. We were the generation that were told by our Gen X and Boomer parents that if you go to college, get a degree, you graduate, you get a good job. That's all you got to do, right? So we said, all right, cool. We went to college. We got our degrees and we started to graduate in the late 2000s and early 2010s. And those degrees didn't mean a damn thing. As a result, we looked at our Boomer and Gen X parents like, why the fuck did you lie to us like that? It's not their fault. They technically didn't lie to us because the reality of when they were growing up, yes, degrees actually mattered. In fact, a lot of our parents got turned down for jobs because they didn't have degrees. They just didn't know that the world would change right as they were telling us that. Bro, we are really the transitional guinea pig generation.
You can't disagree with that. The transitional guinea pig generation. Six Drive said, I'm Gen X. I got no excuses. Sorry for the mess. Fair enough. And I think that's what a lot of people who watched that video, or a lot of people in general, what they were thinking. But of course, you're gonna get the people who feel like they have to comment that are gonna be of the worst ilk. But yeah, I definitely understand things like the fact that the boomers were way out, or rather Gen X is way outnumbered by the boomers, and that the boomers were young and energetic when y'all were kids, and not in a good way. I get all that. No, a shout out to Bryson. Welcome. That's not this guy. This is a millennial from 91. This is a millennial from 91. So that guy is a different guy. Trust me. I'm literally still getting comments about that guy. To this day. That was over a month ago, and I cannot go 10 minutes without somebody, run away, and they always pick that one part. Don't mind any of the things that I said in my own video. Just take one person that I stated in the video that I don't agree with, and complain about that. I don't know. I was just going off on a tangent. If you haven't seen the video, definitely go check that out. The Gen X Awaken video. It caused a storm. But, going back to what this guy is saying is that, there was so much transition with the millennials and the Gen Z, where the world was one way. And I'll make it smaller to just the millennials, because again, I'm 89, so right in that realm. Because I think even my brother, who was 83, is a little bit older, a little bit too old for this, and my sister kind of experienced it as well, but also not as much. And so what I'm talking about is the notion that you had an analog childhood. And then all the technology, whatever you want to talk about, social media, the internet, all that stuff organically came about during our childhoods. So it wasn't like our childhood was being put on, Teletubbies or whatever. That was already there. It was building as we were growing. So we grew with it. Whereas the Gen Zers, it was already there. Gen Xers, they were adults before it came in, and even some of the older millennials, same kind of thing. But if you're a younger millennial, then you're right in that pocket where you had a childhood where you were playing in the streets and you were doing, playing with and drinking from the hose and waiting, had to be home before the street lights came on. But you also were on MySpace and in the early days and all that stuff. And so that transitional thing is definitely true. Yeah, someone definitely a bunch of people got very triggered. If you haven't seen the video, definitely go check out why. Also, people have unrealistic expectations from life. They need those $400,000 houses they can't afford, and when it doesn't work out, they blame the boomers. Well, I mean, I see that, but let's not pretend that the boomers were good stewards of our country. Come on. Context said, my parents said the same damn thing. Or their parents? Hey, parents? Mine said the opposite, but no less depressing. It's just how it is, and it's not worth trying to change it. Just put your head down and hope for the best. Yeah, that's a very different thing. Shout out to Salvatore. Said they're all liberal. They didn't call out anything. Love it. Love it. All right, let's dive back in here.
Change right as they were telling us that. Bro, we are really the transitional guinea pig generation. Like when I was born, VHS and cassette tapes were popular. But when I graduated college, we had already started to transition into fully digital media libraries. Literally everything ended and began with my generation. Millennials grew up with so many promises that we all thought we were going to be straight if we just followed the formula. That was never the case, bro. So now, here we are in our early 30s, mid 30s, late, some of us even in our early 40s now, still on homes, still in apartments, still kind of just winging it in life. It's even crazier is the fact that the government still sees millennials as children. Not realizing that the oldest millennial is in their fucking 40s, bro. We're depressed because we're in a stagnant state. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it was really only a few years ago when the rhetoric, if you want to call it that, switched from the millennials with your avocado toast to whatever Gen Z is doing. There was a short period where they were talking about Gen Z and Tide Pods and millennials, and that was getting all mixed up. But other than that, it was only very recently when we were way into our 20s. Some of us are late 20s, some of us even 30, when these damn young millennials, like, things have been changing.
Have not been able to grow. Most millennials' lives honestly have not changed over the last 10 years. You might make a little more money than you did back in 2014, but your living circumstances and all that kind of shit, most likely, it ain't really changed much. Still live in an apartment. You either got the credit score for a house, but you don't got the income, or you got the income, but you don't got the credit. And then with the interest rates being so crazy, it's honestly cheaper to rent a house than it is to buy one. Not to mention that millennials and Gen Z are the generations that just been bombarded with information for our entire lives. Like, yes, awareness is good.
That's the other aspect of this that is, I think, missed by sometimes the older generations. That yes, there was a lot that was more difficult about life before we had technology, but technology making specific things easier doesn't mean that it doesn't come with way more problems that are just a different type of problem. And again, not saying everybody, but I'm saying a lot of people don't seem to appreciate that.
But listen, man, too much of anything is a bad thing. And too much awareness definitely takes a toll on your mental health, man. Like everyday war, genocide, famine, gas prices, interest rates, job market. We know too much is overwhelming. Everything's expensive now. When I was in college, I used to go to McDonald's and get a McDouble, a McChicken, a large fry, and a sweet tea for $5.35. I put that same meal in my McDonald's app cart the other day. That motherfucker was $12. And our parents had the audacity to ask us.
Remember, we just seen that. We just seen that video where the guy had his Walmart app, and it was an order from a few years ago, and he, just to see, clicked reorder. And it was 4 times as expensive. The same exact thing from the same exact store, 4 times expensive. Carlson, how many work 2 jobs, 60 hours a week? That's what I did. And more often, it's closer to 80 hours a week back when I was paying dues. But here's the problem, Carl. Why do you want people working 60 plus hours a week? It seems like, well, you had to do it, so now I had to do it, so now you do. Were you having fun doing that? Why would anybody want to work 60 hours a week plus when you don't have to do that? Okay, that's not what I asked you. Did you have fun while you were doing that? Why is it that you want more people to do that? Why isn't it that you don't want people to be able to make that money? I'm not saying that they shouldn't make money, but that it has to be back-breaking work and working all these hours. As if the wages from, again, I don't know your age, as if wages haven't been stagnant, as if the things haven't been the landscape hasn't been changed. No, Carl, that's what I'm telling you. That's not the case. There is nobody who is in their, in a position where if they just worked 20 more hours, they would have a vastly different lifestyle. That doesn't exist. That's a fallacy. That's boomer mentality. Comtex, can you imagine what would happen if a millennial finally got the handout they deserved? I honestly think the economy would boom. Housing would be stable and more self-reliant homesteads would be normal. Not to mention healthier lifestyles and caring for the environment through their purchases. Bingo. Exactly. But no, the only answer is, oh, you just got to grind harder. Just grind harder. As if people aren't already like, yes, if you're fucking sitting around playing video games all day, then yes, I agree. You need to grind harder. But that's not who we're talking about. I mean, maybe in California, but not all around the world. Or not all around the country. And you don't get hours. You don't like go try to get a fast food job right now. How many hours are you going to get? You cannot get 60 hours at a McDonald's. That doesn't exist. That doesn't exist. They'll give you 12 hours. Maybe, yeah, they use the $20. Oh, we raised the minimum wage. They use that as a liberal bullshit rhetoric. And then you get 12 hours per week. I'm not saying that fast food should be the main way that people support their lives and their family. But I'm saying this idea that, oh, fast food workers make $20 an hour as if they're working 40 hours a week. That's not how it works. And when you say things like that, it just proves that you're just listening to other people and just regurgitating what they say without actually thinking about it or without actually bringing it into the real world or without actually talking to anybody that it actually affects. And it's sad. It's sad because I'm not... who told you that fast food people are desperate for work and they'll give you as many hours as you want? Who told you that? Because you either get 12 hours a week or the complete other end of the spectrum where they have one person running the whole place and the quality goes down and then it's not that simple. That's not how it works. If it was, people would do it. You act like people, like, again, of course, there are lazy motherfuckers who don't want to do shit. But you act like, in general, people who are already grinding 40 hours a week are just lazy. That all makes no sense. If they're already willing to grind, why would they not actually do the amount of grinding that would lead to them not having to grind? It's almost like it's not that simple. It's almost like it's not that simple. And I think that's a pretty good segue into this.
Says he's hungry. Ladies, it just means that he's hungry. It's not an attempt to spit an intricate bar. He is not talking in metaphors or similes about power, ambition, or greed. He is not rethinking the relationship, thinking about breaking up or backdoor asking for a threesome with another woman. Most of the time, he's not even thinking about you getting him a plate of food. So please do not think, do not dig deep, because it's not that deep. Hungry just means he just wants to be fed. But when a man says, I'm tired, inquire, probe, demand him to elaborate, because tired is different. Tired doesn't mean sleepy. Tired can mean that I'm tired of living, tired of going on, tired of moving forward, tired of just dealing with this life, tired of losing. And you know that your man does not take losing well. And you know that your brother does not take losing well. And you know that your father does not take losing well. Do you know that your son does not take losing well? So if he feels like he's losing in the game of life, he might not just take his ball and go home. He might go home and take some pills or a bullet. Your man's tired is different. He needs more affection, more energy. He's tired of dealing with the shit that's going on, tired of going on, tired of moving, tired of losing, feels like he lost anything, feels like he's not worth anything. And I know what you're probably thinking. Why can't he come to me and say that he's feeling suicidal like he tells me he's hungry?
Not
because
happening.
Society doesn't let strong men say that I want to kill myself. Because society finds more value in finds more value in a valuable man more than a vulnerable one. Because strong men have problems with saying words like weak.
So just grind harder. That's it. Just grind harder.
And help. So we strong men push our pain deep inside our bodies, turning temples into tombs. Tombs turn into tumors and ulcers and self-doubt and anxiety until one day we don't know where we're going to put it. And then my best friend, known him for over 25 years. I am godfather to his first son. His mother calls me son. Our black boy Joy spans so long that I would hide a body for him without a question.
And that is the line that they, as Guanzek is saying, this dude is on point. Of course, his passion to help will just be looked as toxic masculinity, especially with a line like, "Oh, I'm going to help him hide the body." But that's the exact reason that this makes so much sense. Is that when men speak, it is always taken with the least charitable interpretation. Always, 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 always.
He told me recently that 9 years ago, he thought about killing himself, and I was fucking angry. I asked him, why didn't you come to me? And
I bet you, and again, I've seen all of these, but I don't remember this. When did I post this in my thing? At least 6/22. I bet you're gonna say, I didn't think you'd care.
His reply was, I didn't know that I could.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Ooh. Ooh. I didn't know that I could. So just a little PSA there about, the fact that men have a little bit of a different experience than some of us realize. All right. So let's move on to this one here. So as I've said many times before, I think that TikTok thinks that I am a black woman. So I like gossipy type of story time stuff a little bit more than the average dude probably. So it is what it is. But I got this one and I thought it was going to be something to skip. Something told me just hang on and see what's good with it. And so before we dive into that one, Glumtech said the number one killer in America isn't disease or accident. It's loneliness, stress, and lack of purpose. Certainly in men. I would say, I mean, these days it's probably both. But yeah, certainly in men, the number one killer isn't disease or accident. Loneliness, stress, and lack of purpose. And we can all pretend like, there's an easy solution. But the fact is that this is a societal problem. And we all need to work together and accept that even if you're some woman, 4B, whatever, I don't need no man, whatever, you still need men to be healthy in order for your society to work the way that you want it to work. Keep that in mind. All right. So like I said, I wasn't sure about this one. I thought maybe it's going to be some feminine bullshit, but I was wrong.
One of the first things I thought this morning, to be honest, was how wild is it that we finally have a convicted president and it's for misclassifying $130,000 payment on an NDA.
Oh, and like that's where I was like, oh, come on, she's gonna just really, that's it, just come, oh, convicted felon, but
not for missile strikes or misuse of email servers or spying on the American people or sexual exploitation or money laundering. No.
Someone literally asked me yesterday when we were talking about, the immunity. We were talking about the immunity thing. And somebody was talking about, like, do you really want Trump to just be able to do whatever he wants? And I said, no, I don't want anybody to just be able to do whatever they want without any recourse. But what I'm telling you is that we told you that going after a political opponent was a bad precedent to set. And now that it was kind of just, it wasn't as explicit that the president does have this immunity. And it was more kind of just like, well, it's in the law, but it's whatever. We have a procedure. You got to impeach first. But there was always a decorum aspect to it, and they just completely stamped all over that just to have the idea that or just to have the moniker of convicted felon. We got a convicted felon. Next, as I remember when my parents gave a 50-cent per hour raise to an employee, and that put him in a higher tax bracket, so he's making less per week. They gave him more to get his paycheck back up. There we go. There you go. And most corporations aren't gonna do that. If there's anything with wages and stuff, if you think, oh, it's just this, you're wrong. It's not as simple as the people who want to make it seem like a simple thing are the people who want you to continue thinking that it's simple. So the people who know that it's not simple will continue trying to work through the system, and you will be against them. It is always about division. Ooh, this one. I think I remember this one. This was America does have culture. Hell yeah. Shout out to this guy. This guy is dope. We actually heard from him last time. We did a video where he was talking about something. But this one, yeah, he's just big up in America.
Hi everyone. So recently there seems to be a trend on social media of foreigners and sometimes even Americans claiming that America has no culture. So as an immigrant who has been in America for 20 years, I want to share with you what American culture was to me prior to coming here and what I have confirmed now that I've been here for 2 decades.
Wholesome. That's going to be our third category. We need the funniest video, we need the most based video, and the most wholesome video. And I think this one might be the most wholesome.
So American culture to me is a culture of problem solving, a culture that is not content with mediocrity, a culture that seeks change to make things better. American culture is a culture of adventure, a culture of transcending the problems of the past and moving forward into the future. It's a culture of creating solutions to problems. American culture is a culture of innovation. It's a culture that revels in challenging and tackling insurmountable peaks.
So, Carl, when you come with this type of thing, like, well, when I was young, I did so much, and today nobody wants to do anything, it just seems very solipsistic. It just seems very like myopic that you're looking at it. Well, I worked hard, and other people don't seem to be working hard. Like, yes, there's lazy people. Do you think there wasn't lazy people when you were working? This guy came. I mean, I don't know when this guy came here, but certainly within my lifetime. How is it a straw man of you? I said, when you say things like you've been saying. What was incorrect about what I said? Congress said American culture is proving you are the best through your actions and not your words. Actually, we'll dilly-dilly at the end. Hell yeah. Shout out to this dude.
This is the essence of American culture and the reason why so many immigrants are attracted.
Hey, shout out to the Plungecast. Welcome to the party. Good to see ya.
To this country is because of the elements of this culture. And one case in point is something I experience every time I go back home to Ghana, which is the fact that when you talk to people and you give them ideas about how they can change things, they tell you, this is not America. This can't happen here. So that tells you that American culture is unique. And when I was growing up in Ghana, anytime Americans will come visit, we knew they were American very quickly. And you know how we knew? Because they were the ones taking the risks. They were the ones adventuring beyond what we had ever done, even though we grew up in that country. So American culture exists. American culture is distinct. And one thing I'll add, American culture is a culture of patriotism. And I am glad to have embraced that culture. And I'm glad to wave the flag and stand up for my new country.
Let's go. Let's go. Dilly to that guy. That's the type of immigrant that we want. Next is that I hate when people think raising the minimum wage is going to make things better. It's more like however much you raise it is actually making it so anyone above minimum wage is making that much less. Yeah, don't forget that what Dave Smith said, that the minimum wage is not a platform on which poor people stand. It is a barrier which they must overcome. It's a barrier which they must overcome. It's not as simple as, oh, we give you more money. We give you more money. Is this? Oh, wow. Why is this? Okay. Well, this one's got. All right. Well, here's the deal. I forgot a couple of links, but all of these are linked in Let's Just Links in Discord. It is free to join. join the Discord. Punchcast said, I was doing 2 part-time jobs and studying full-time at university for my film degree. When people are lazy, they make excuses. That's the kind of immigrant I am. I mean, I assume you're saying like that guy, not like you make excuses. That's the kind of immigrant I am. I'm gonna assume you're going by this guy. But yeah, I mean, it's that level of wanting. There's the fireworks. There's the fireworks. Let's see if you can see my hair trembling from him trembling. No, oh well, whatever. You're all right, Mort. You're all right. You're all right. Oh my God, he can sense it in the air. That's why he didn't want to go out before. It's just so frustrating. Like, look at him. He's terrified. He's terrified. He's gonna open his mouth soon. Oh, can you see him trembling? He's trembling. Oh, fucking fireworks. It's all right, Mort. And this, I told you guys. I didn't know what was gonna happen with this chair when summer came around. I told you guys. And when's the last time you actually saw him sitting there? Anyway, Carl said, I think there is a reason for the lack of hustle. Most of these kids grew up with parents who coddled them and made their life easy. My parents always made me work. It's a cultural problem. So, I mean, I think there is you're looking at it myopically. There are some people who just have had everything handed to them. But just very recently, being a workaholic and grind was the, but think about right before the red pill stuff took over. Your David Goggins type of Jocko type of people of, embrace the suck. I get up at 4:30 every morning. I just grind, hustle. That was the cool thing. So to act like this is just a cultural thing that is of years gone by is just not the case. It's just not the case. So I don't know what it is that you're talking about.
I've always liked you.
All right, so let's move on here. We got our boys. We're looking. Should I thought I'd have a little bit more time to figure out. Okay, let's see. This one's funny. This one should be funny. But I have a little bit more time to figure out the order of these. But
there are 10 baby names that are illegal in the USA. They're illegal, like you can't have them. Legally cannot name your baby this. If you're listening to this and your name is named, I want you to comment. Well, I guarantee you don't know these people. No? I guarantee you. Is it like Megalodon or like... No. There's 10. King? You can't be named King? No. What if it's like King something? If you name your baby King, your first name, you cannot do that. Yeah, what if I do Kings? You probably can. Yeah, plural? You definitely can. Number 2, you can't name somebody Queen. Okay, that's fair. King and Queen go together. You can't name somebody Jesus Christ. That makes sense. But you can name them Jesus, I guess. Because then you're just going to be writing history in a way that's not true. You can't name your child 3, so the third, like Roman numeral 3. Okay, that's something like Elon Musk would try doing. You can't name your kid Santa Claus. Religious reason. Illegal. You can't name your kid Majesty. This one is obvious. You can't name your kid Adolf Hitler. That just makes sense. Completely fair. You can't name your kid Messiah. That's a little shaky. It's a religious thing. It is a religious thing, but like, is it a certain spelling or is it like, I'm saying phonetically? That's why it's shaky. Messiah, Messiah. Yeah. So like, what if you drop? You could do it probably. You can probably.
Just I'm Messiah with 1 S.
Legally, the last 2 are weird. You can't name your kid the @ symbol. Like any platform where you tag people, you'd be all messed up. You can't @ and then you can't name somebody 1069, which is 1069.
I've always
what? Oh, I wanted to get the full list there. Which is the worst name? Which is the worst name on the list? If I was going, okay, no, wait. If you had to name your child one of these names, which one would it be? I would go with Messiah, just because it sounds more like a name than any of the, obviously Adolf Hitler and Jesus Christ were names, but they sound like that person. Messiah kind of just sounds in general. I would go with Messiah. Bryson's going with King. Fair enough. All right, so I got another one, a funny one right in a row for you. Just for Sal. I found 2 funny ones in a row. But I tried. Stick with me. They're getting good.
To you personally, but when Vivek
All right, so shout out to our boy Charlie Kirk and Vivek Ramaswamy.
I've always liked you personally, but when Vivek, you know this, I say this openly, when you first started to run for president, I was a skeptic.
Yeah,
right?
big skeptic.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
trying,
you talk
brother.
about that phone call, right? And I
Oh,
think I was
Charlie,
nice
Charlie
about
was
it,
just like,
though.
"What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah. I was like, this makes no sense. But you won me over, and obviously I'm a Trump guy, you know that. But I think you could be president one day, and I think you have the skill set, and I think you'd be a great president. I really believe that.
Thank you guys.
And I don't say that lightly, you know that. And I'll tell you what, I mean, I saw this amazing growth, and I mean that in the best possible way. But when you went on stage and you called out Rana to her face, I was like,
talking about Rana. What's the fellow's her name? I don't know. The RNC chair.
And you called out Rana to her face. I was like, he's my man. Like now, I was like, that's different. Like now we're that.
Nick's going with Saint Nick. I like that one. Good thinking.
That's like Trump 2016 territory, right? When you all of a sudden said it's not the great replacement theory, but the great replacement reality, I said I have not heard a politician with that kind of courage and conviction. And not to mention all sorts of other different things. I could see it was genuine from the heart. And you texted me after, you're like, yeah, gloves are off. Like, I just don't care.
Yeah.
And I know that you did not win the primary this time, but I think you really won the hearts and minds of millions of people that, I mean, if we're honest, if Trump wins in November, God willing, we're all working towards that end, there will be almost an immediate question of like, what comes next?
And I think it's Vivek. Shout out to Vivek. All right, this one might be funny. I'm trying. I'm trying. Apparently I didn't save as many funny ones as I thought. So the neighbor called animal control because she thought my dog was aggressive.
Hey there, I'm your new neighbor. Okay. I'm letting you know I did call animal control about your dog. So they're gonna come by. So you need to have like the rabies records, vaccine records. I'm a vet tech, that's why. I work at the emergency hospital, that's why they're coming today, because I called them and they know me. So I know I know what I'm talking about, girl. Like, I'm not trying to be rude to you.
Well, what do you advise we do then, since you're a vet tech?
I think you should I think you should. I mean, I really
The thing is if we rehome a 5-year-old dog that's aggressive, he's just going to go after home after home after home until
they're
he
going to
gets euthanized.
euthanize him.
Good call.
Exactly. They're going to put him down.
Should do. No offense. That dog isn't right, dude. And my dog, like, why should I have to... And my bird here, like, she's got a little...
Karen.
I can't let it give out.
The Karenicity is strong with this one.
Animal control, I just wanted to, like, come by. I'm worried. I'm worried for my dog. I'm worried for this little boy. That's what I think. Because they're super aggressive, and, like, I get what you're trying to do.
She's not aggressive. She gets it from him. She's actually a really sweetheart.
I don't think this is the video that I meant to.
As a puppy and raise her from...
Okay, moving on. I don't think that's the video that I meant to bring up.
Based on
So this is what is the most deadly job in U.S. history based on percentages. Before we go there, let's grab some comments. Puncast said, if I was American, I would vote Vivek. He gets it. Yes, he wants to make the country better for everyone, not minorities, like all other immigrants. Yeah, and I mean, you know, obviously there is a game to be played at this point. A vote for Vivek wouldn't go very far. But he is definitely the person that personally I think would be number one, and I hope he is chosen for VP and hopefully is poised for 2028. Carl said most people who complain about the boomers screwing society ignore all the ways. You already said this. You're just saying the same thing over and over and over and over. All right, the deadliest job in
percentages. What's the deadliest job?
Does anybody have any guesses? What is the deadliest job in U.S. history based on percentages? I would guess it would be like an oil rig or one of the ones that they made a show of, like the ice road truckers or the deadliest catch. It's got to be one of those.
U.S. history.
I'm gonna say underwater
Welding.
That's mine.
Okay, that's a good one.
No.
How about those guys on the building, on the I-beam?
Steel workers?
Yeah. Well, the construction workers.
Oh,
The skyscrapers.
Sal, the one you just heard in the background, I got a funny one set up for you. All right, so it's not clickbait. I got a funny one for you after this one.
How about those guys who are up on the building, on the I-beam?
Steel workers?
Yeah. Well, the
Soldiers, that's it. That's definitely a good option. Power line worker.
workers of like the skyscrapers. Or oil rig guys.
No.
That's what I said.
Oh shit! Like
Soldier?
Hey.
Executioner.
No.
I would say being a coal miner would be the answer.
No.
That's good.
Coal mining?
No.
A lot of people are saying that.
Deadliest in U.S. history. I mean, being in the Air Force?
Air Force. All right.
Firefighter?
No.
Good guess, but that's a good guess for a girl.
The guys that go up like the telephone poles?
Telephone poles. He better tell us. There's no. I'm gonna be mad at myself. I'm gonna be mad at myself if I save this and he doesn't answer it. Well,
Oil rig? No.
oil rig again.
I've always thought, I'm probably wrong, like deep sea fishing. I did from like that documentary. So I'm gonna say that deep sea fishing, the deadliest catch.
No.
That's what I was thinking. Me and Nick.
Underwater electricity?
Another underwater welding.
The answer is U.S. president. 9% of all U.S. presidents have been killed.
All right. So by percentage, shout out to Santa Chekhov. I'm terrible with names. I'm gonna call you Santa. Welcome, Santa, to the party. Another good guess. A lot of people are saying underwater welding. But Wonderful said it's gotta be a gotcha like a husband. Oh man, tell me how you really feel about marriage. So no, the answer was president. What did he say? 9%?
9% of all
9% of all U.S. presidents have been killed in the line of duty. Interesting. I would not have guessed that because there's not a lot of them, and so by percentage-wise, that makes it a lot easier to mess with the numbers. But again, that's a good lesson in how statistics can be changed around, and I mean not changed around, but used to say something. Because what 9% of 47 is what 3? Do we have 3 or 2? We JFK and Lincoln, and then there was one more, right? I don't think there was 4. That would be 10. There was 4. Damn. So it's JFK and Lincoln. I want to say not. Even if it wasn't Van Buren, did Van Buren replace him? Which presidents were assassinated? So we had Lincoln, Garfield. Okay. McKinley, shout out to Carl, good one, and Kennedy, of course. Shout out to Stephen Colbert Cheese in the building. Welcome to the party. But yeah, sadistic statistics. That's a good channel name. That's a good channel name. Somebody should get on that. Sadistic statistics. Interesting. All right. So Sal, I got another funny one for you. Logical protesting. Garfield's lasagna was poison. That's not real, is it? That's not real. That would be funny. That would be hilarious. That actually would make sense. Why that had to do with the comic, if that really happened. I'm gonna let that be true in my mind because I think it's funny. But this one is logical protesting. If protesting was logical.
President.
Equal treatment for women!
Equal treatment for women! Except we're getting charged with a crime.
What?
Well, men generally get harsher prison sentences than women. That's not fair.
No one changed that, right?
Okay.
Equal treatment for women, except we're getting charged with a crime. And when playing sports and fighting. Well, men and women.
Nope. It's true. All right. In my mind, it's true.
Women shouldn't play sports together because men are physically stronger than women. It's not fair.
That makes sense.
It's not fair. Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Equal treatment for women, except we're getting charged with a crime and playing sports and fighting. And paying for dinners and buying drinks and getting drafted into the military and doing dirty jobs. Okay, guys, I got a better idea. Let me just 1 second.
Treat us like women! Treat us like women! Treat us like women!
Makes sense. I mean, they don't really want it. Thank you. Just capitulate to my absolute delusions. That is how you get ahead in life. Okay, so here, this one may not be. This one, I want to get your guys' opinion on whose side are you on? Are you on the flight attendant side, or Sal said that was the funniest one? All right, so we've got a. Let's see. Can I add the? I'll drop that in the chat there, and then we'll come back to that. Or actually, no, whatever. We got one in the chamber for funniest. Funniest. Remember, we have funniest, we have most based, and then we are looking for most wholesome. So I think so far our immigrant friend with American culture, I think that was the most wholesome. But that one was definitely the funniest. So here, are you on the side of the flight attendant with limited context? You're on the side of the flight attendant, or and we got a second from Plungecast. Word up, word up. Or are you on the side of the passengers?
And because you are escaping and I can see it. And because you guys are jeopardizing the safety of this aircraft right now. Okay. So I'm threatened by both of you.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Let's go.
The sheriff's department is on
Now
the way.
you hear from their own. I told you, I didn't want this thing to get escalated, but you wanted to know.
Limited context. We have to pick a side.
I want a sobriety test. I am sober. I work with children. I've been doing cartwheels and back then.
You need to get out of here. You do. Otherwise, I'm going to
So you are recording, right? It's not going to help you. The recording is not going to help. You are wasting this.
No, recording will help.
Okay.
You are wasting this.
What behavior
I'm trying to hear
slurring.
slurring.
I'm not. I stepped to the side.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ladies, I'm sorry. But what are we doing here? This is not, I mean, maybe we need to blame the uniform, but what is going on here? They make things that will like put on some spandex, lady. Am I that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Was there a MAGA shirt? I didn't see a MAGA shirt.
You do. Otherwise, I'm going to
So you are recording, right? It's not going to help you.
I didn't see a MAGA shirt. She does have the Karen pose.
You are wasting this.
No, recording will help.
Okay.
You are wasting.
And so now this guy over here, the guy on the end, was saying recording's not going to help. And
Recording is not going to help. You are wasting this.
No, recording will help.
recording. Well, I don't know if it was the captions or just him, but just in general, just arguing. No, recording will help. Is that just a? Because they start off by saying I could smell alcohol on you, so it's about whether or not they can fly because they are intoxicated. But they don't. I mean, I hear a little bit of slurring, but I don't see a ruckus going on. Maybe she's just bloated. Yeah, but I mean, like, girl. I mean, kudos to you for the confidence, but like, it's 2024. You gotta hide that shit. All right, let's see.
Okay.
You are wasting this.
What behavior did you see?
You cannot step any closer to me.
I'm not. I stepped to the side. What behavior?
So a definite slur. But again, they have airport bars. You best believe I'm gonna be doing an 8 a.m. drunk live stream from JFK. You best believe that. Maybe I'll do that as my Wednesday stream instead of worrying about trying to figure out what to do after the Freedom Fest. But again, you can hear, and they serve alcohol on the plane. So unless there's a ruckus here, what's the issue? And so she's asking what behavior. All right, maybe we'll get some more context.
Any closer to me.
I'm not. I stepped to the side. What behavior did
If
you
you
see of
step
mine?
any closer to me, we're going to have problems.
I'm not stepping closer. What behavior of mine did you see?
What behavior did I see?
Yeah.
That was the question.
All over the ground. You can't. You're engaging. You're loud. You want attention from everybody.
Okay, real quick though. Can you see me moving? That's him. That's him shaking. Like I am staying completely still. That's wild. He is in full Chihuahua shake.
All of us The whole entire crew saw it. All of us are in agreement that you cannot
on the ground.
Okay, so flipping around is cause for concerns somewhat. But like if you're just doing gymnastics waiting for your flight, you happen to be a gymnast and you're just doing some handsprings or whatever. I don't know. It doesn't seem that alarming. Like, you know, maybe their flight was delayed and she's just fucking bored and had a couple drinks and she's doing some cartwheels. Who knows? Carl said they scalp you in the airport bars with the $30 Long Island iced teas, then kick you off the plane for being drunk. Yeah, well, that's why you got to bring the shooters. You can bring, of course, you use your liquid allowance for alcohol shooters. I mean, I ain't gonna help you in the bar, but you can. I mean, in the airport. But you know, save a little money where you can. But so now that's where we're at. Now she's flipping around. Ah, they're mad they can't charge them on the plane. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything crazy going on. But they said everybody agrees though. So maybe it's a little bit more insidious than that.
Of us. All of us. The whole entire crew saw it. All of us are in agreement that you cannot
on the ground. You mean the cartwheels I was doing with the children that I met on the plane?
As I was watching you drink your alcohol.
Like I said, I did have one glass of wine.
Right. And so because you've admitted it.
Admitted it? Bitch, what you mean admitted it? Are you not allowed to you're not allowed to have any blood alcohol content and get on an airplane?
I'm not going to allow you to come on this aircraft today.
So anybody that's had one glass cannot get onto this plane?
That's quick thinking for somebody who's fucking wasted. I'm just saying.
Anybody who's exhibiting behaviors of being intoxicated is not allowed to come onto an aircraft.
Do I seem intoxicated to you right now?
Yeah, you do. Because
Never ask that question. That's just walking into it.
you aren't following any sort of instructions that any of us are asking you to do.
Because I have kids at home that I'm waiting to get back to.
Well, that's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate.
All right.
It is.
It is. Because you should have been behaving yourself up in the
Oh, behaving yourself.
and you should have been behaving yourself here. You should have been listening to him. So that's
No, you made your decision before we walked up.
right because
And she admitted it. She said right.
You made your decision before we walked up.
right because her behavior.
right.
Case closed. Case closed. You made the decision. You saw her doing cartwheels. You're mad that bitch, you can't do cartwheels. So you said, I ain't flying with this bitch. I think that's case closed. Carl said, I would guess this chick is way hotter than the stewardess, and this is a catty thing. I think so. Shout out to Sarah Marie. Welcome to the party. In agreement. Case closed. Context says she sounds like a snooty ass teacher talking down to her student. That is exactly how it sounds. Yep. Karen on a power trip. Got him. Shout out to Giggling Spy. Welcome to the party over on Rumble. Said, this woman does not have that Karen mentality, acting like everyone's mother. But then said, I think Carl is correct. Yep, it's a catty thing. It sure seems like that. Shout out to King Nirvana. Welcome. We are trying to pick whose side are we on. And I think that sealed it.
No, you made your decision before we walked up.
Right, because her behavior. Right, because her behavior was that of somebody who appears to be intoxicated.
I didn't realize that you. What?
I don't have to be. I have guidelines that we follow in our manual, and you can actually look it up in the FAA.gov.
Somebody there.
And she's recording me, and so I want that deleted.
No, somebody will be there.
Shout out to Agno. Welcome to the party. Good to see you. You're trying to decide whose side are we on, the drunk people or the Karen stewardess.
And so I want that deleted.
No, somebody will be there.
She's recording.
Of course, now you want it deleted. If you're doing the right thing, if you're not doing anything wrong, then why should it matter?
Against FARs. That's also against the
Fine FAR.
federal aviation regulations say that you have to have my permission to be filming me.
You know that, right? Okay, let's go.
I'm so sure that you just made that up.
I want law enforcement to deal with both of them, and I want that to be deleted immediately.
You can't make that demand, but they
I can.
She can, and she did. Okay. So anybody, all right. So let's do this. Put a 1 in the chat if you are on the side of the passengers, and put a 2 in the chat if you are on the side of the stewardess. Comlex says this lady thinks she has a great power and therefore a great responsibility, I assume. Yeah, I mean, you know, you will never get a
let's go charge the cyber.
You'll never get a shortage of people who you know, will just let the tiniest bits of power go to their head. King said, "My people's white queens never lie." I said, if that regulation existed, then all those TikToks and filming of people on planes would all have been sued into non-existence. That's a great point. I did not think of that. So I think we are all in agreement that Karen Stewardess was in the wrong. All right. Okay, so let's move on to, what did I label this one? Charging a Cybertruck versus a regular car. What have we got here?
All right, let's go charge the Cybertruck. Grab the charge.
Context said, I bet that lady would have kept the child off a plane for not wanting to wear a mask for an 8-hour flight. Yeah.
Right here, and you gotta tap until the charger port opens. Tap door, open. There we go.
I thought he was joking.
What?
Shout out to the
See how
Cybertruck.
fast we're charging right now? 1 hour and 30 minutes. Right now in San Leandro, the rate is 61 cents per kilowatt hour. That means it's going to take me 121 times 61. That is $73.
I was gonna say that sounds expensive. $70 and 66, but less than a minute, less than 2 minutes.
296 miles.
Boom, 405 miles.
I think it's pretty good because you're driving the future, aka the Cybertruck.
How is this the future? It took me 1:52 to fill up my tank. It was cheaper to fill up my tank, and I can go farther. I don't fucking get it. Make it make sense.
It doesn't make sense, sweetie. It don't make no sense. One fellow said, I gotta tap my truck for its hole to get ready. Hey.
When Hillary
so this one, this is definitely gonna be funny. Might be pretty based, but we'll see. Clinton supporters agreeing with Donald Trump quotes.
What did you think when Hillary Clinton said, I see improved relations with Russia from a position of strength only as possible?
I agree with Hillary.
Hillary Clinton said, immigration is a privilege and we should not let anyone into this country who doesn't support our communities, all of our communities.
Well, I'd virtually have to agree with that.
Hillary said, in order to achieve the American dream, let people keep more money in their pockets and increase after-tax wages.
Yes, okay. It's in order that's a great idea so that we can start to move everybody up and start moving people out of the level of poverty.
Yeah, that's what Trump wants. That's not what the Democrats, and certainly not what Hillary Clinton wants.
And obviously runs fairly severe contrast to what Donald Trump is proposing.
Absolutely. Many of her comments.
Is it though? I mean, obviously not.
Contrast to what Donald Trump is proposing.
Absolutely. Many of her comments run severe contrast to Donald Trump.
What do you think of this quote from Hillary? There's nothing I love more than women, but they're really a lot different than portrayed. They're far worse than men, far more aggressive, and boy, can they be smart.
I agree. I've worked for 38 years in the hospital with women, and that's a very accurate.
And one of us in this video is me from 2015. Yeah, pretty much.
And you think that's obviously a sharp contrast to her opponent?
Absolutely.
Hillary Clinton said, I like the concept of local education. I want to get rid of Common Core. I think Common Core is a disaster.
Well, I'm an educator. I'm a school teacher. I think Common Core is a disaster too.
And what do you think of this Hillary quote?
I have never seen a thin person drinking Diet Coke.
Never seen a thin person.
How do you think that's a Hillary Clinton quote? How do you not immediately be like, wait a minute, that sounds like a Donald Trump quote?
Person drinking Diet Coke.
Never seen a thin person drinking Diet Coke. Well, let me tell you something. Diet Coke does not make you thin.
So you would say, get rid of Common Core, keep the Diet Coke.
Keep the Diet Coke.
Let's go.
What do you think of this Hillary Clinton quote? I am opposed to gay marriage.
Well, I've heard that a lot from a lot of politicians. It's all about the timing, though, isn't it?
And who was the first president that walked into office being in support of gay marriage? Donald Trump.
No, hey, she's for us now. Yay!
Is she though?
I'll take that.
She says she is.
That is a win.
What do you think?
Even he don't believe it. Even he don't believe it.
Yay! I'll take that as a win.
What do you think of this quote from Hillary Clinton? While Bette Midler is an extremely unattractive woman, I refuse to say that because I always insist on being politically correct.
I am sure that she never said that.
Okay, one smart person. One smart person. And so let's finish this up. And so actually I'm gonna we'll finish this up and come back to those comments.
You're right, please don't sue me.
Okay, that was the end. That was the end. Yeah. So Carl said Rush Limbaugh was spot on when he called Hillary Clinton Nurse Ratchet. R.I.P. Rush. R.I.P. Rush. So Guantac says here, do you think that people just hear Hillary and then their brain shuts off at that point? Or do you think they actually hear the statement and agree with it? I'm going to probably say the former, that they probably just hear Hillary and they shut their brain off. And that goes right in line with our next video.
I can't make it.
Come on.
The moment people bring Jesus or God into stuff, I tune out. Am I the only one?
Nope.
So like, I could be reading a comment or I could be just having a casual conversation with someone and everything starts out great. They'll be like, oh yeah, I was able to do this and I went and I got my PhD and I wasn't supposed to get done until 6 years, but I got done in 3.5 years and everything was fine and I was doing this. And you're like, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. And I would not have been able to do it if it wasn't for Jesus or if it wasn't for God, right? Or whoever. And in that moment, I just, my brain shuts off. Like,
I said, shit, me too. And again, it's not about saying you shouldn't have these thoughts and you shouldn't do. It's just about the perspective of when you are talking to people who are not part of your faith, what it does. And it does this. You're just gone.
I'm just like, it's almost like everything that they just said, I totally disregarded it after they put Jesus in. I don't know why, but that just offends me when people don't give themselves credit for the hard work that they put into something or the ways in which they've overcome something hard or whatever. And they'll just chalk it up to fake Jesus or white Jesus if you're black, or the fairy tale God or the sky daddy or whatever you want to call God or Jesus, right? They just chalk it up to the sky daddy. Like, oh, if it wasn't for sky daddy, I wouldn't have accomplished. And it's just like, stupid. How dare you? How dare you diminish and not see your own worth and your own hard work and attribute all of that
we get it.
to something that you've never even seen before. Like, I tune it out. People like that, my target bag is coming loose.
So, I mean, she goes on and essentially what you would expect. So, we don't need to run that into the ground, but I do think it's important, again, to just kind of understand what it is that people, hear when you're talking to them. And when you think you're sending a certain message, doesn't actually send that message. Or are you just saying it to check off a box that, oh, I'm a good person, I said the right thing. Just saying. One of folks, it feels like fake humility when they say God gave them their success. Completely agree. King Brown said, but Jesus, you don't really disregard everything someone says. No, but I mean, it is it is something that will, how you'll be watching a movie and something doesn't make sense or there's clunky dialogue and it just takes you right out of the movie. that doesn't mean you're not able to comprehend the rest of the movie, or even if it just takes you out of one scene. It's not that you can't understand the scene, but it's just you're very aware now that, oh, this is something, this isn't just a it's different. It's different. It changes it. And if you don't want to do that to people, then just be aware of that. Nobody's telling you cannot say what you want to say. But if you don't want people to tune out, or then now have an extra thought where now I'm just listening to you and nothing else is going on, and now I have to listen to you and all think about, oh, okay, here we go, some Jesus thing. Now I have to interpret this, and now this is all going on consciously in my head. Now I have to interpret this to how I'm going to understand this as somebody who's not a Christian, and what do they mean, and what kind of, like, all of that. Now it's just a whole bunch of stuff that is not helpful. And so what you're trying to do is not being done. This goes into the same bucket as God is very bad at being a word. The point of a word is to take the thoughts and ideas in my mind and push them into your mind. And when you say God, when you say Jesus, when you say any of these religious things that are so ill-defined, it doesn't do anything but elicit the image that they already have in their minds. Gondik said, I don't disregard it, but it's a little like praying in public to me. I don't mind it as long as it isn't the most important part of the conversation. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, exactly. We'll grab these real quick. King Nirvana said, maybe you mean if it's a type of overbearing Jesus types, I get that. No, I legitimately mean if you're just in casual conversation and it's like, well, praise the Lord that this happened, or like, it's thank Jesus, thankfully Jesus kept the roads clear for me, or any little thing like that. It's not, and yeah, and then they start. So no, they don't have to start quoting Bible verses, but it's just like oh, okay, all right, I see it. The same way, King Nirvana, that if you were talking to somebody and they were like, well, I'm an atheist, that would give you pause. You'd be like, oh, okay, I'm not going to not listen to you anymore. But that definitely affects how I'm interpreting the words that you're saying. I'm just saying, goes both ways. Shout out to Unwanted Foe. I don't know if he's going to take it. We're going to offer it. Look at his ears. He is shaking. Oh, he did take. There we go. Shout out to Unwanted Foe. Thank you so very, very much. Out sponsoring your goddamn self. Thank you. Very, very much appreciated. Guamsek said, I can appreciate that their belief helped them get where they are, but if you're telling me the story just to praise God, then I tune out. Yep. No, it's not really that big of a deal, but I mean, it's just, if you care about people listening to what you're saying, then it is a big deal. All right, moving on. We've got, can you pass the Gen X test? Let's see.
Right, we get it. A lot of you Zennials, older millennials,
Let's see.
You want to sit at the Gen X table. Look.
I mean, after the past month, I'm questioning it, but I definitely would like to pass, so.
According to the data, you were not born in the Gen X years.
Nope.
However, if you would like a pass, answer these questions correctly.
All right, so we're going to, how should we do this? I'm going to get the next video. Okay, the education system is cooked. So we're going to get the next video, and we're going to come back. We're going to bounce back and forth. And we're going to get the question.
Just posted this.
We're going to get the question. We're going to move on to the next video. And then we are going to come back after we get some answers from you guys. So let's see. A few of you are Gen X here. Let's see if you are even really good enough for your own generation. Let's see.
What did we call this?
That's number one. What was this called before 1999? Let's just put it there. 1999. What was this called?
What did we call this?
Before 1999. So we'll give you some time and we'll check out what we got from this third grader. Did what?
This lady just posted this video about third graders that has my mind absolutely blown. This is your children in the educational system.
Damn. All right. Everybody got it. Giggling Spy got it. Airy Fairy Tale got it. King Nirvana. I don't know. Gen Xers, do we accept number sign? Do we accept number sign? Yes or no? I'm not in the club. I'm inclined to say number sign does not pass. I'm inclined to say number sign does not pass. But I'm going to leave it to the Gen Xers. Does number sign does that count? Sal got it. Punchcast got it. Everybody got it. There we go. There we go. All right. They accept you. They accept you. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, all right. Ooh, Sal says no. So we need somebody to break the tie. A Gen Xer who's in the chat. Weigh in, yes or no. Does number sign qualify for this this picture? Yes or no? Let's see. You can't vote on yourself. You can't vote on yourself. All right, Giggling Spy said accepted. There you go. Everybody got that one. All right. All right. Moving on. Moving on. Hey, shout out to Ayush Gupta. Oh, you guys are so nice. You guys so nice. So nice. So nice. There we go. I'm 89. I'm 89. All right.
Answer these questions correctly. What did we call this?
All right. So we got that
Have
one.
you ever pooped outside?
Have you ever pooped outside? Yes or no? Have you ever pooped outside?
What's the name?
Watches graders that has my mind absolutely blown. This is your children in the
Remember, have you ever pooped outside? Yes or no?
educational system. You guys need to watch this video because some of y'all mindlessly scroll looking for entertainment. You're a part of the problem that she's saying in the video. Hold on.
What I wish students knew before coming to me in third grade: 1, their first and last name and how to spell it.
Wow. Kids are going into third grade and not knowing how to spell their own names. That is sad. All right. So we're getting answers. We're getting answers pouring in. Ayush said yes. Santa said yes. Carl said every day. Punchcast said yes. King Nirvana said every day. He said hell yeah. Bury that shit literally. Wonderful said went camping as a kid. So yeah. Welcome to Dry Cabin Life. All right. Beautiful. Let's move on.
What did we call this? Have you
Okay, so Sal's down one. Sal's down one.
ever pooped outside? What's the name of the baby that fell in the well?
What's the name of the baby that fell in the well?
How many kids
All right, while we're answering that one.
and how to spell it. You would be amazed at how many kids do not know their last name, nor do they know how to spell it. Their date of birth. Parents, please
All right, we got one from
are
Giggling
born.
Spy.
It is information they need to know. How to tie their shoe. My kids learn early in the school year that I do not tie shoes, so they have to problem solve and figure out who can tie shoes in the classroom and who.
I could not have been more than 5 years old when I learned to tie my shoes. That's wild.
Who will do it for them? How to respond appropriately to.
Any more guesses?
Parents.
Yeah, I can agree.
What was the name? What was the name of the baby that fell in the well? So you can cheat from other people. Giggling Spy and Nick both said Jessica. One foe said Timmy. Ayush said Bruce Wayne. Nirvana said Baby Prenub. And Comtech said, I don't know the baby name one. It doesn't ring a bell. All right. So let's see. Let's see. I mean, it was Jessica, but I mean, we're
What
not-
would happen if you picked up a landline and dialed *69?
Okay, what would happen if you picked up a landline and pick *69? Baby Jessica is correct. Yes. I mean, I think this is the fact that it's older gives you credit, but the fact that the Gen Xers knew it immediately, I gotta say, like, it's very obvious that it was a big story. Like like if I asked you, Unwanted Foe, what type of device was shit, I forget his name now. I forget the kid's name. But the kid that was in a flying device and then was on TV and puked because he was lying, you would know exactly what type of flying device it was. So, you know, I'm gonna say, all right. So Guamtech said, get the number of the lady person that called. I'm gonna see, or I'm gonna concede that you're going back with what everybody is saying. All right. Yes, that was the last number. There you go. There you go. All right, we're still here.
What happened if you picked up a landline and dialed *69?
Right.
What did we used to read in the bathroom while we were taking a dump?
Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. I feel like you should know this, and it's pretty universal because I've seen it in pop culture. As of where did I see it? But let's see. What is a pager would also be a good one. Yeah, but I think like I think kids know what pagers are. So Giggling Spy said Reader's Digest. You said I had a pager in high school. Fair enough. Magazines. That is not what I was looking for. That is not what I was thinking of. What's a POC? It's supposed to be a newspaper, but I always saw magazines. There's something very specific that's not a book. There's something very specific that's not a book. I think she gives answers in this, but there's something else that I'm thinking of that is not a book. We'll see by the end if she doesn't say it, then we'll see. But so all those, you know, obviously, yeah, I'm not gonna accept any of those. I'm not gonna accept any of those. I'm taking the lead. I'm gonna say no. It was a catalog is still a book. The catalog is still there. You go. There we go. The answer we were looking for: the shampoo bottle. The ingredients on the shampoo bottle. Yes, there you go. There you go. There you go. There we go. All right, let's move on.
What did your dad say to you if he saw you crying?
This one could go a number of different ways. Shout out to Arjun. Welcome to the party. So an opinion on Project 2025 after Trump does not seem to support it. Don't really care. I've read the website and I read some stuff, but you know, if he's not supporting it, then it's just people saying things. So don't care. Yes. It's called a bathtub. Do you not have a bathtub? So sick it up. Go suck it up, Buttercup. Harden up. All right, we'll go back to it.
What did your dad say to you if he saw you crying?
What did your dad say to you if he saw you crying? Nick said, I remember having a 20-foot cord on our rotary phone. It was almost like having a cordless phone. There you go. So, Giggling Spy said, stop crying. I'll give you something to cry about. That, I think, is the best answer there. Stop crying. I'll give you something to cry about. I like that one. We're going to stick with that one.
At what time of day would a commercial come on and remind you?
You already know. You already know. If you know, you know. Let me play it. Just maybe.
At what time of day would a commercial come on and remind your parents that they had children to check on?
You guys got to know this. You guys got to know this. Walk it off would be another good one. But I do think Stop Crying, I'll give you something to cry about. Is kind of pinpointed of you know, the Gen X childhood. There you go. Giggling Spy's got it. Oh, Guamtech. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Wow. Gen Xers. I thought you guys were all in one club and knew everything about the world. There we go. There we go. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? It's 10 p.m., not 6. It is 10 p.m. And even if you didn't have television, you would know because as I just said it, you're familiar with the phrase. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Exactly. Damn, I'm more Gen X than some of y'all Gen Xers. God damn. They didn't. Not only could they not check on you, they forgot that you existed. They needed the news to remind them that you existed. Moving on.
What fast food chain used the slogan, "Where's the beef"?
Oh, come on. This is a super fail if you don't get this one. The one folks said, I was the one who saw those commercials. My folks went to bed early. Fair. Okay. Okay, right. So yeah, if you're not in America, then that's fair. There we go. Where's the beef? Where's the beef? Carl said we grew up separate from the world. If you were outside, the church, there was really no interaction. All right. I mean, I don't think that's a Gen X thing. I think that's a you thing, but fair enough. So 93 is millennial. You are a millennial, just like me. Yes, Wendy's. All right, we all got that one. So I don't know if she gives the answers, but her answers, but.
If you walked into PE class and your teacher said, everybody take off your shirts, you got to get in this line and bend over in front of a stranger, what were they testing you for?
Oh, you should. Millennials should for sure know this. Millennials should absolutely know this. We definitely had this test.
Bend over and everybody take off your shirts. If you walked into PE class and your teacher said, everybody take off your shirts, you got to get in this line and bend over in front of a stranger, what were they testing you for?
Yep. Okay. Spelling does not count. Spelling does not count. All right. We got some answers coming in. We got Giggling Spy on the ball. Anybody else gonna guess? Anybody else gonna guess? King Nirvana is the only one? The only one. Scoliosis was the correct answer. Good job. Good job. Oh, Gen X, you are letting me down. Oh my goodness. You didn't have scoliosis testing in your school, bro? That's why I'm saying millennial. This is something that was done long after I was in elementary school. So I'm surprised. Really? Okay. Maybe it was more regional. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that one we'll see is really okay. So it's definitely regional. Yeah. Exactly. Was at the end. All right. All right. So I think I get the pass. I don't know. You guys tell me. I think I get the pass. Peanut allergy tests? Oh my goodness. Oh because some of the kids. Let's finish this one up because oh no, part one, I don't care. Okay. This one, who knows what BYU is? BYU. I don't even know what it stands for, but whatever. It's a college where I think you made it to, for sure. I wonder if your teachers were checking for scoliosis. Hey, shout out to Dietrich. Welcome. Said if you moan in anticipation, they knew you were gay. Definitely. Am I one of you? Thank you, Giggling Spy. I appreciate it. Brigham Young. Thank you. Brigham Young University, where all the Mormons go. If you have not seen this, you will enjoy it.
Your favorite party drink?
Probably like a Jager bomb.
What school are we at?
Brigham Young University.
I never drink, ever.
Neither do I. I substitute it with, that special coconut cream from Swig.
What's Swig?
It's like LDS crack. We can't drink, so it's like we get that instead. It's just...
What's the quickest you've seen somebody get engaged on campus?
I think it was like 3 weeks. They knew each other on their missions, so that kind of...
Brigham Young! Hey! Dilly! Let's get a full screen Dilly for that. Usually when they say, what's your favorite party drink? It's like Dr. Pepper or water. He said, all my family is Mormon. I accept your condolences. Yeah. Yeah, let's see what else we got here.
Knew each other on their missions.
3 weeks.
So that kind of helped.
What's the quickest you've seen somebody get engaged on campus?
And of course, the obvious implication is that because they're super religious, they're not going to have sex before marriage. So instead of waiting and finding somebody, they just get married and fuck. So also they have a good show. The good shows on their app actually wholesome. All right, I'll take your word for it.
Kind of helped.
What's the quickest you've seen somebody get engaged on campus?
I'd say like over a weekend. I don't know. I was talking to her on like a Thursday, and then next Tuesday she said how she got engaged and then drove down to Nevada to get married. And she did say her baby was coming in 7 months.
Have you ever watched a rated R movie?
Never.
Not even an edited one? Not off of like VidAngel?
No.
Have you?
VidAngel's a website where they take all the naughty parts out of R-rated movies, so losers like
Ever
this. can
watched a
watch.
rated R movie?
I have.
How dare you?
The devil came over me. Probably like The Conjuring or something like that.
For your rated R movie, you decided to watch The Conjuring? That's your choice?
Yes.
What's the quickest you've seen somebody get engaged on campus?
Probably about 4 months.
Oh, they
How
ask
quickly did
about
you
it.
get engaged?
We've been dating for.
I don't know if he's gonna do it in this one.
Congrats.
Okay, let's do some
What's
more.
your favorite party drink?
Pina colada.
Does pina colada have alcohol or no?
The ones I make do.
What's your craziest experience here at BYU?
I just found out what derfing was. It's like where you essentially just have, but with your clothes on.
What's your craziest experience
You, like dry humping or like what?
with Mutual?
It was when I was in Las Vegas. I was talking to people on it there. There aren't as many Mormons in Las Vegas as there are.
No,
here.
What are your thoughts on
there's
Nick
not.
Mose?
Absolutely.
So Nick Mo, I need to see the letters.
Mormons in Las Vegas as there are here.
What are your thoughts on Nick Mose?
Nick Mo, non-committed makeout. Non-committed makeout. So, like, just hooking up with somebody. Dietrich said, engaged over the weekend, went down a week later to get married. Baby coming in 7 months. Somebody was ready to get busy. Yep.
Mose.
Absolutely.
What does Nick Mose stand for?
Non-committal makeout.
Are you a fan?
Absolutely.
Do you know what Sea Turtle stands for?
C, celestial, terrestrial, telestial.
Would you rather have a sip of alcohol or unalive a puppy?
Oh, hands down alcohol.
Would you rather have $5 million or 5 minutes with Joseph Smith?
5 minutes with Joseph Smith doing what?
You could talk to him, you could hang out, you go bowling, whatever you want to do.
Definitely $5 million.
What are your thoughts
there
on
we
piercings
go.
at BYU?
All right.
I just find it really attractive when girls get their nose pierced so it looks like a booger. But when I got my belly button piercing, I did it myself. It kind of hurt a little bit, and now I have this weird rash that won't go away.
I just want to find one when they're talking about soaking. All right.
Are you
one
guys
more.
dating?
Yeah.
Why do you obey the law of chastity?
Well, it's just set in stone in our religion.
Take your best guess.
And it's what we follow.
What's the biggest age gap you've seen in a couple?
19 and 34.
What do you think about that?
If they're happy, they're happy. Like, honestly,
How many days does it take to soak?
There we go.
maybe like 4.
It is a loophole, though.
Sometimes.
Would you rather hit a Nick stick or kill a puppy?
I don't know what a Nick stick is, so I'd probably kill a puppy.
Holy shit! Holy shit! She just said on camera that she would kill a puppy over hitting. I mean, she said she didn't know what it was, but god damn.
Either hit a Nick stick or kill a puppy.
I don't know what a Nick stick is, so I'd probably kill a puppy.
Would you rather have $5 million or 5 minutes with Joseph Smith?
$5 million. Like, at that point, Joseph Smith.
What's your craziest BYU experience?
Fight nights, because I fought a girl at fight night. I threw her to the ground. It was the most BYU thing I've ever done.
What are your thoughts on soaking?
Personally, wouldn't.
It's a loophole.
No, it's not.
How would you know?
Biology?
What's the craziest thing that's happened to you at BYU?
Gotta be someone shaking the bed on the first date. That is a mid experience for a first date.
So in case you guys are not familiar, that's what soaking is, where you just slide it in, and then you have friends who shake the bed so that you can get the sensation of fucking without fucking.
This thing that's happened to you at BYU.
Gotta be someone shaking the bed on the first date. That is a mid experience for a first date. That's awful.
What's the craziest thing that's happened to you at BYU?
Probably Latin dancing.
Do you get sauced?
Sometimes off of Red Bulls.
You're a sober Sally then.
Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, I wasn't even paying attention to what we are doing next. Here says she had all the functions. No. So yeah. Soaking is just a one-on-one thing where instead of, having sex, you just put it in and then it's in and then your friends shake the bed So you get the sensation, but you're not actually technically doing anything wrong. Oh, I remember this video. This will be fun. You may have seen this one before. Let's see.
1 + 1.
So it's society in 2024. So I mean, I think this video is a little bit older, so maybe it would say society in 2030 or whatever. But shout out to Dylan Suit. Welcome to the party.
1 + 1. Yes.
2.
Incorrect. Yes.
Multiculturalism.
Well done, Simon. Next question. What is 3 × 3? Yes?
9.
Wrong. Yes, Penelope.
Gender equality.
Very good, Penelope.
Is this a joke?
Do you think gender equality is a joke?
No, but isn't this a maths class? Don't be so racist. I just asked a question.
We don't ask questions. Questions are offensive.
Yeah! Let me see this. They've just written equality and drawn love hearts on a piece of paper.
He expressed himself and it's beautiful.
He didn't even spell equality correctly. We don't discriminate. This has nothing to do with mathematics.
Do you think you're so great with your maths and your science and your facts?
King Spy said, looks like 2024 to me. I mean, it's not that bad.
What about feelings, huh?
Yeah. Feelings are more important than facts. Yeah! This is wrong. You're all crazy.
Stop violating me with your different opinions.
I have the right to speak my mind. No, we have the right not to be offended.
And that's more important.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. Moving on here. This one is if white girls acted like racist black women, and I thought it was funny. John said, I love the white guilter. Yep, that white guilt. Oh, it is just so beautiful, right? Spot on. Unfortunately, Punchcast said, fuck your feelings. He said, facts are racist and sexist and ableist. Indeed. We're all going crazy, buddy. We are all going crazy. All right, let's see what we got from our friend here.
Shop white owned during White History Month. White is king. So today I'm going to wear my white girl magic shirt. I think I'm going to start a white student union club at my school. Oh my gosh, you want to touch my hair? That's so racist. I'm going to watch the white movie section on Netflix today. White is beautiful. Just my skin color makes me shine.
Women, am I right? Women, am I right? Just a short little fun one there. I don't remember what this one is, but if I do remember, and Plungecast loves that. There you go. If I do remember this correctly, this has to do with the science. Remember, you have to trust the science.
So let me get this straight. You're saying
Volume's a little low, so I'll give you a second. I'm gonna back this up. You turn up your volume.
So let me get this straight. You're saying that the major beverage companies, food companies, all of them, are bribing the scientists, bribing the regulatory agencies to endorse their formulas, their ingredients for food, to say that they're good, say that they're okay. And in fact, those ingredients are meant to addict people to the foods that they're selling.
Yep.
Purpose. I was shocked as a junior employee to see a list of names of professors from Harvard, from Tufts Nutrition School, from Stanford. And as a junior employee working for the food companies as a consultant, I steered money to those schools. The food industry funds nutrition research in this country 11 times more than the NIH. You are loath to find a nutrition researcher who's not directly paid with a direct consulting agreements bribes, and their research is predominantly funded by the food industry. I can tell you from working for this industry that that's not out of a philanthropic goodwill for unbiased research. The food industry is spending hundreds of millions of dollars on nutrition research to enhance their bottom line. It's to normalize these addictive foods.
Okay, so you say added sugar for 2-year-olds. So these cereals that they might eat that have all the cartoons on the front of them and that sort of thing, you're talking about the same mantra for a drug dealer.
The biggest drug addiction crisis and drug issue in the country by far is the ultra-processed food industry. And you're hitting on the second aspect of this devil's bargain. Food and ultra-processed food is causing absolute devastation in America. 9 of the 10 leading causes of death are foodborne illnesses. If you take down ultra-processed food, you are eliminating diabetes, you're eliminating heart disease, you're putting a stab to the heart of cancer, many forms of cancer, metabolic.
I could have sworn. All right, I'm gonna readjust. So I could have sworn he brought up something about the food pyramid. You know, obviously when I'm watching these on my own at 2x speed and whatever, it may not necessarily translate to you guys as well. But just the fact that somebody was you know, let's see.
And kids now, 50% of teens are overweight or obese, 25% of kids, and it's the biggest issue in the country.
All right, what else are you talking about?
All 3 ingredients are essentially invented just 100 years ago. And
So I think he brings up the food pyramid at some point, and just again, it's such a perfect example of like, how do you not see that these people are the ones who signed off on saying that you need what, like 8 servings of grain a day. Insane. All right, let's get back into the funny. For Sal. I got you.
Bro, it's not pee. It literally is. Bro, I'm telling you, no, it's not. All right, listen. They did a study where they dyed the inside of these women's bladders blue, and then they had them do it, right? Okay. And when they did it, it came out blue because it fills the bladder, which is the same place that pee goes. Bro, what is you talking about? It's pee. All right, listen. If you were to pee right now, how long would it take for you to be able to do it again?
Good point.
It would take a minute, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to go get some water and wait for a while, right?
I guess.
So you telling me that she could do it back to back, like 5 or 6 times?
With me, she does. Put a 1 in the chat if you have no idea what this TikTok is about.
With no water, no drink. She already peed, but that's pee. Bro, I'm not trying to hear that. I don't care what you call it. It's my drink. How am I supposed to finish eating it without my drink?
Hey, yo, King Nirvana. Oh man, King. That one you're gonna have to do your own research. You're gonna have to do your own research on that one. Oh man. Shout out to the Bunk Master. Curveball, yeah. That's my drink. That's my drink. So I got some good stuff for you. What is that?
This video is gone.
So okay, here's what I'll say. Who said it? Who said they didn't know? King. All I'll say. Google. Is it pee? I think that should. That should put you in the right direction. And call us up when you're on here. That Squirt is a delicious soda. I mean, you know. I prefer a root beer, but you know, to each their own. Shout out to Matt Walsh here, fighting for gay rights.
This video's gone somewhat viral. This is a lesbian woman talking about how she regrets fighting for gay rights because of how far it's been taken.
I don't understand what is so hard about correcting other people.
I'm so sorry I fought for gay rights. I'm so sorry for all the pain and suffering I went through, and had I known y'all were going to take it this far, I wish I could go back in time and not fight for gay rights and just live a nice, quiet, silent life on my own. We thought that's what we were fighting for, was just nice, quiet, fitting in.
Hey, yo, what's wrong with root beer? Root beer is amazing. Put a 1 in the chat if you do not like root beer and you're a weirdo like Erie.
For was just nice, quiet, fitting in, being just like everyone else. But I didn't know y'all were going to take it this far.
She's sorry she did it. It was a mistake. And so there's a certain way. awareness there, apparently a certain self-awareness that I can appreciate.
I said shit, me.
I was just watching this this guy. I'm sure you may have seen it, may not. I watch a lot of like investors and people who just out here just trying to make money the right way.
That's saying you can't win and have a pure heart.
And apparently he owned a restaurant called Ocean 12, I think in Houston. And he was telling about how it basically failed. And this is something.
Okay. So when a man and a woman really, really love each other, okay, then they're going to do this thing where they lay down in a bed together. And if he can lay down that dick, she gonna squirt. And the age old the age old argument is squirt pee. And I'd always been, kind of I'm partial to it. I'm that's my drink. That's my drink. And so when the conversation eventually you come across the conversation of that's pee. But dude brought up an amazing point. When you pee, how long it takes you got to pee again. It ain't pee. It ain't pee. Let's go. I've never had that. I should try it. But I also make my own with the SodaStream. So mine's probably better than A&W or any of that bullshit. But all right, you can't win and have a pure heart.
Houston, and he was telling about how it.
Hey, shout out to Ruthless Admin. I mean, hey, again, when they're with me, they do. You don't have, unless an average female is peeing like gallons at a time for every pee, then I've had multiple, in one sitting. So, whether it's, unless you're holding that whole ass fucking gallon tank, then yes, the fuck they do. Because then each iteration, it starts out strong and then it peters out, and it starts out strong again and then it peters out. So this is gonna be wrong, I'm pretty sure. I'm from Pennsylvania. I love birch beer, root beer, and sarsaparilla. Well, there you go. Cream soda is the one. I fucking love cream soda. Hell yeah. There you go. Jesus soda. That sounds kind of gay, but anyway.
Called Ocean 12, I think in Houston. And he was telling about how it basically failed. And this is something you hear from a lot of successful people. You hear how these huge things that was supposed to go really good end up going really bad. This and that and the third is a money pit and blah, blah, blah. It was a long video, but there was a point in the middle of the video, or maybe at the end of the video, where he was saying, I've never touched $1 million. I make a lot of money, but I've never touched $1 million because stuff like this happens. And it seems like every time I try to do the right thing and I try to do everything legitimately and woody woo,
where did that come from? That's, I'm trying not to. Where did woody woo come from? What happened to blase? Woody woo. Just how did every black person just start saying woody woo all together, all at the same time? Was it in a song or something? Woody woo.
Try to do everything legitimately and woody woo. Some shit always happens. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people who have been trying to make a lot of money for a long time, that's something we run into. And I've come to the conclusion that the only way to get filthy, stinking rich, get rich, is to just be unorthodox within whatever space you're trying to get rich in. I now understand why some landlords are slumlords. I now understand why some restaurants don't follow all the rules when it comes to health and safety. I know why people who own cleaning companies hire people who may or may not be allowed to work in the United States. It's because they're competing with other people who are doing the same things. Now, I remember when I was young and my dad, we used to always bid on these contracts. And you don't win. Out of 10 contracts, you might win one. And, one contract is life-changing. My dad has a few. But I remember when we used to be bidding on contracts all the time, bidding on contracts. And they let out who wins. And you see the price that they went at, and you go, how the fuck are they making $1? And you realize they're hiring Consuela. You know, sometimes it'll be a family and they just working the contract themselves and they get.
And I mean, this goes for anything. This goes for anything. You know, the fact is that people will always be willing to take shortcuts. People will always be willing to undercut. And what did I just do? As a man, as a person, as a whatever, you have to decide how low are you willing to go. You have to understand that you are not going to be able to keep up your ideal principles and morals if you want to get past a certain place. And so then the question becomes, okay, how much am I willing to bend in order for the greater good? And the problem is it's not an easy calculation, and people end up miscalculating and either, giving in on their principles and still not making it, or becoming fucking evil as shit. And they're rich, but they're not happy. Yeah, Punchcast said, if you China has a saying, if you can cheat, cheat. This is why when we talk about the president and all that kind of stuff, that it's not as simple as just this person did this and this person did this and this person did that, so they're a bad person and da 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 da. Like, they're all doing bad things. They're all doing bad things. And so when it comes to politics, we have to understand that we're already accepting that somebody here is lying, or rather that everybody here is lying. And when you don't understand that, it leads to shit like this.
Have parents admitting that they regret transitioning their child.
Neither of our sons is innately transgender.
Obviously.
I had led my child into it, and therefore I must lead him out of it. It is my responsibility.
I came out as a lesbian and identified as queer. Then I fell in love and entered a committed relationship with my spouse and gave birth to our first son. She then talks about how she was constantly pressured by the left to look for any and all clues that her kid might be trans. So they raised both of their kids gender neutral.
But there's no social contagion. That's made up, guys. This social contagion idea, that's a right-wing propaganda bullshit line.
At around 4 years old, my son began to ask me if he was a boy or girl. Instead of telling him he was a boy, I told him he could choose. I was leading my innocent, sensitive child down a path of lies that were a direct on-ramp to psychological damage and lifelong irreversible medical intervention, all in the name of love, acceptance, and inclusion.
Love, acceptance, and inclusion. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. It always is. It always is. So, I mean, shout out to... Oh, wait.
Kids that are...
Shout out to guys like this and out in Polk County doing the damn thing.
It's got to be true. This is Aaliyah Ross.
Shout out to Aaliyah Ross. Oh, that is not a great picture.
She's 27. She
looks
and her
40.
husband, Devin, get into an argument in their house. And Devin goes outside, allegedly to calm down. But while he's in the process of calming down, he throws a cinder block onto her vehicle.
What?
Well, that makes her mad. Did I mention to you that when Devin went outside, he took his 16-month-old son, well, actually their 16-month-old son, outside.
Poor baby.
Well, when the cinder block went onto the car, it made Aaliyah even madder. So she got into the car and she lunged forward in the car like she was going to run over him. Now, he's holding the 16-month-old baby.
Well, let's see that again. He's holding the baby.
Like she was going to run over him. Now, he's holding the 16-month-old baby.
16 months.
Well, she said, I guess he didn't get out of the way. So she lunged again and ran over Devin and her 16-month-old baby. Did you hear what it said? She ran over her boyfriend and their baby. Like bump, bump, bump.
Whoa.
Okay.
Like I said, guys, I've watched these and saved these, but if you're familiar with doom scrolling, you'd just be scrolling, and I don't remember any of this shit. Yep.
Then she runs the car into a neighbor's house, which is supposed to be some kind of relative. She leaves with the baby she's injured. Devin is on his way to the hospital, calls her and says, "You've got to take the baby to the hospital." She said, "No, I'm going to leave him at the house." So she drives back to the house and puts the child in the house by himself. And then she takes off again. Devin goes back to the house, picks the baby up, and they both go to the hospital.
This is insane.
Listen.
Guys, I just want to remind you, we have just passed the 2-hour mark. So if you would like to keep the party raging, you know how to do it.
To me, the baby is in critical condition.
Damn!
This morning in the hospital in Tampa. And after she runs over her baby, after she leaves with him, she brings him back to the house and leaves him alone and him in critical condition at 16 months old. And then she takes off again. So obviously, we're not impressed with her conduct.
I am not impressed with your performance.
She's clearly violated all kinds of laws of the state of Florida. So we track her down in Orlando at her sister's. Our colleagues from the Orange County Sheriff's Office helped us by taking her into custody until we could get there and interview her.
Damn. So yeah, it's just the rest of that. But wild. And I mean, I think Unwanted Foe, you said it best, that some people are just broken. How do you do that? How do you do that? That is wild. And like, it's not made up. This is a real person. Once I said, "Fuck, man, this story is breaking my heart as a newer father. My baby ain't even a year yet." Yeah, and this baby was barely over it. Insane. Commenting the issue is difficult. I mean, definitely, definitely got to be able to speak up when people are doing wild shit. I would assume. I think you were right before. Who Dylan was right before. I think Florida, that crackhead shit. That sounds like some crackhead shit. Alex said I couldn't help myself if I was around this woman. Let's be glad. Let's try something a little lighter. Why do you do relationship containers versus committing for life? This is an interesting concept that I want to know. Do you guys agree or disagree?
Yeah. Every time I tell someone we're in a 6-month relationship container, they ask me what that is. Can you explain it here so I can just send them this?
Yeah. A relationship container is a specific amount of time that the two of you are committed to being in the relationship and working through it no matter what shows up. And then at the end of that container, you have a conversation to discuss if you want to stay in the relationship and create a new container. And if there's anything that you're needing to improve the quality of the relationship moving forward. And for me, it's like this intentional check-in that requires both of you to stay intentional about how you show up to the relationship. Because if you look at the way people date traditionally, they date for a little while, they get into a relationship, and then they make this decision to be with each other for the rest of their lives. And there's no kind of check-in from that point on. And it gives people permission to just become complacent. This is why I feel like so many relationships slowly fall apart, because there's no accountability for us to continue to show up, because there's no threat of the other person having permission to leave. And so when you have this checkpoint, knowing that the intention is to find what would be the best decision for the both of you, but also there's an opportunity for one or both of you to leave, it's going to create some intentionality with how you show up in the relationship.
Interesting. Shout out to the Eerie Fairy Tales for the $3 super sticker. Thank you so very much. You're gonna eat it. Yeah, there you go. So what do we think? Dylan says, so it's just a relationship with more words and steps. Cool. Kind of, but I mean, maybe less steps if you're eventually going to break up, right? Like if you're saying we're going to check in, in 6 months, then maybe it's less steps than going through passing that 6 months, not being into the relationship, dealing with the bullshit, figuring out the right time to be like, you know what, it's not working here. We already have this scheduled, so it might be less steps. I don't know. Colin said, I was dropped this chick as soon as she brought this up. Red flag for way too high maintenance. How so? And also, he is the one explaining it. So how are we saying that she did anything wrong when they're both doing this together? I'm just saying, bro. It just you claim not to dislike women, but it seems like at every opportunity you snipe for the woman. She's not even on the video. You just watched a minute and a half of a dude talking, and then you're saying the woman is wrong. What? Make that make sense. Sam Marine said, rather have a person not requiring anything of the like, an online check mark. Fair enough. Plungecast said, prenup at all. Prenup. So I said, what's the difference when you can just end it after 6 months? I mean, I wouldn't necessarily do this either, but it doesn't really sound like you guys understand what was the purpose of this. It's like there's a difference between not liking it and not understanding what it is. What do you mean? What's the difference? Because there's no let's say she thinks things are going great and you want to break up at 6 months. So first of all, now you're already you're in the relationship and 6 months passes. How do you get yourself into the position of, I want to break up? That's a thing that you have to do. That's a thing that you have to deal with. That's a step. If it's already in, again, I'm not saying you have to agree or disagree, but this is not relevant to what they're saying. It's a very big difference, because then at 6 months, you can say, you still could? Yeah, actually, but I didn't know that you did this thing in the shower, and I would prefer that you didn't do it anymore. Oh yeah, I can do that. So again, I'm not saying it's good or bad, but this is just a misunderstanding of what they're talking about. Yes, thank you for Morty's treat. He very much appreciates it. Glumsack said, it sounds like more outs for women. They already have more complaints in any relationships. But again, I disagree. They're already the ones who break up relationships most of the time. So all it does is give the dude more outs. Women already will just leave. Women don't need a check-in. It's the men that need the check-in. This is a positive for the men. Punchcast, it's like applying for a job. 6 months trial and fired or let go, or a probationary period, and you stay on. So there's no, it's just a. Okay, let's just move on. Yeah, that one went right over everybody's head. All right, moving on. Why I will never get a corporate job.
Look at this shit. They wonder why people fucking kill themselves over jobs. Okay, click this job from LinkedIn. Opens up in this website. Go to application.
It's whatever you want, dude. There's no rules. They make it up.
Oh, redirecting me. Let's see where it's... Oh, okay, now we're at a third site. Lenza. Okay, cool. Here's the job.
Not doing
New job.
Give me money so I never have to do this.
Apply now. Oh, look. All this other shit. No, don't want to do any of this. No, thank you. Oh, so we close that out. It takes us to another website. And now it's in Spanish. Okay, let's switch to English. Apply. Oh, look. Go to website. Let's see what this is going to be. Oh, another website.
Hey, what's up, Merrick?
Okay. Apply for this job. Wow, now we're getting somewhere. Great.
Fine.
Hey, what's up, Merrick?
Oh, finally. Yeah, I will never, ever, 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 ever go through that. Shout out to Trey Williams. Welcome to the party. Finally, someone who gets it. You get it. Even if you don't agree, you get it. Trey said I would shorten it to 3 months check-in, but it's literally just talking about your future with each other. Bingo. That's why I moved on. They don't get it. Is it every 6 months? It's your relationship, bro. You do whatever the fuck you want. It's just an idea. I'm saying, I just say keep talking at least once a week and resolve issues as they come. 6 months just sounds like too much time. People will bring things up and not remember, and so on and so on. Then do it. Then do it 3 months. I don't know what to tell you guys. Jesus Christ. All right. Ready to get pissed off? I'm gonna piss you off.
Hey, let's check out what's. Hey, what's up, America? Hey, let's check out what's going on over at Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's not what the colors mean, actually. That's what? Hey, let's be real clear. This is a network for children and toddlers. Isn't that fun? Hey, and on top of that, she's misrepresenting what the colors mean. That's absolutely incorrect, by the way. My question is, hey, why the fuck is this on Nickelodeon? Not MTV or some other thing, Nickelodeon. Hey, I wonder if Nick Jr. has anything going on like that, too.
Oh, no.
Hey,
Oh, no.
look at that.
Oh, no.
Nick Jr.
Oh, no.
certainly does. Let's take a look at this together as a family. Nick Jr., hey, look at that. Starting them out
Sure
young,
has
aren't we?
changed.
Look at that. Hey, we got a dolphin over there. That's
Just
really?
how,
Are you
how many flags do you fucking need? I get it. Like, let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You got a dolphin over
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
there.
16.
What? Really? Are you fucking
17, 18, 19, 20, the dress, 21, 22, 23. And let's just not even count that one. And 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33.
So,
34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. 44 flags in one frame, and we don't even have the whole frame. Why do you need 44 flags? 44 flags. The wheelchair dolphin, and the Muslim owl, 10 per square inch. Totally not propaganda. It's almost like, this is just organically how people operate in the real world. Trey said, to be fair, not one person Nick watches, I assume you're saying. I mean, kids, if you have older, especially if you you give kids to the grandparents, they're putting on Nickelodeon, bro. Dylan said, oh yeah, the new Blue's Clues show. I guess that's what we do when nostalgia wears off. Yep.
How dare you?
Excuse me. Us straight people should be ashamed to be straight. We don't get a flag. We don't get pride. We should be ashamed. We're straight after all. Isn't that the worst thing you can be? That's what I was told. All right, we got another little we'll call this a funny one. But it might turn into wholesome. So let's see. Punchcast said, isn't that the same pedo studio that was exposed in a documentary recently? Indeed, it was. All right. So I forget what the actual image is, but this is not, let me think about this. This might get me in trouble because it's not what you think it is. What do you see in the picture? What is the girl in the video pointing to? Yeah, right? How
How
dare you be straight? Not allowed. Instead of Where's Waldo, they get Where's Wanda drag queen books. Oh God. Oh God. All right. So what do you see in this picture? Anybody? Okay, Gromtek sees the dog. Anybody see anything else? Everybody sees a dog? Why? What do you see? What do you see? Tell me what you see. Tell me what you see. Okay. There's a specific thing. I can't see it anymore because now I know it. All right, well, I guess this one's going to be a miss. It apparently looks like I forget what it is, but it apparently looks like a little girl in a weird position or something like that. And it's just a dog, but okay. I guess. Moving on. What else do we got here? Oh, this is a fun one. This is fun. I want to know, do you think that these are real or fake? And we're going to watch a bunch of them.
What else did you learn?
So this is a millennial person who works at a place where a bunch of Gen Zers work to go out and do photo shoots of homes. Do you think this is real or fake?
And what else did you learn? Puppies pee all the time. And?
Wait. Okay, it was a kid's head. That's what it was. Okay, hold on. We're gonna come back to this. You might be the only person who this is working for.
Once you see the dog, it's going to be really hard to unsee it.
Yeah, because I've seen the dog now, so I can't unsee it.
But here's his mouth, his nose, his eye, his ear, and then obviously the body. Like, the picture is literally of a dog, so that's what we should be seeing. But for some reason, you can see like a possessed child's face. It's so strange.
Yes. I forget what I can't see it anymore because once you explain that it's a dog, then you can't see it anymore. But apparently, you guys went from the get. All right.
And what else did you learn?
Puppies pee all the time.
And?
The puppies also get stuck really easily and fall asleep places and whine and pee while they sleep.
And the big one?
That even vacuum cleaners make them pee everywhere.
Wasn't thinking that, but what was the big lesson we learned?
Don't get a puppy.
I'm going shopping later to get more makeup, actually.
Oh, Jamie, let me give you a makeover.
Ooh, no, I do not think I need that.
Yeah, I'm coming to the office now. I'll bring my stuff.
So then after that, your next shoot will be at 1,700 hours.
1,700? What do you mean?
5 o'clock. It's military time.
Is it at a military base?
Oh, it's just a universal way to tell time.
Okay, I'm not calling in airstrikes. I'm taking pictures of home. We can just use 5DM. Works.
Fucking
Change it up
Zoomers.
sometimes with the time.
Jamie, don't change time. You're not God.
Hey, Gage, how's it going?
I'm actually so mad at you guys.
You're mad at us? Why?
Shoot from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., which is fine. But Sabrina tickets pre-sale dropped at 10 a.m. and I couldn't get in the queue fast enough, and I didn't get tickets.
Okay, I'm really sorry about that. I did not know Sabrina Carpenter was dropping tickets at 10.
Oh, no, I have to cancel on pre-sale and probably spend way more money than I want to, so you screwed me out of some concert tickets.
Oh, come on. Really?
Hey, Reverend.
I need to call in, like, healthy today.
Sorry,
What the fuck? Why do they do this? Just give me the goddamn whatever. I don't care.
I need to call in, like, healthy today.
Sorry, what?
I'm just feeling so good today, like, better than I have it.
That's what I'm saying. It does seem real. It seems fake. But I'm saying she got the cup. Of course you're gonna notice the cup.
Feeling so good today, like, better than I have in a long time.
Well, that's good.
I have no brain fog, I have energy, I'm just in such a good mood today.
Aw, fantastic to hear.
I actually, can't come in, I just don't really want to waste this day on work.
Next Thursday works for a day off?
Nice. So, Jamie, have you ever made any money off your videos yet?
Nope, none.
You get so many views, though.
I know. Hopefully soon.
Has no one reached out?
Yeah, quite a few brands have. None that like resonate with my lifestyle or they aren't things that I use.
Like luxury stuff?
What?
Or like healthy food places?
I eat healthy.
Jamie, every time I see you, you're eating fries or chips.
I also have a
How the
smoothie every
fuck do you
day and I eat a lot of salads.
Jamie, Caesar salad.
Hello again, Reverie.
Hi. So you said you were looking for brand deals that like align with you and your style?
Yes, things that I actually use and like. Why?
Why don't you ask Value Village or like the low income stores you go to?
It's called thrifting.
What about those ratty bathrobes or old slippers you're always in at home?
And what else did you learn?
That puppies pee all the time. I know. I lost my phone for like 7 hours.
I'm gonna we'll do. I want to do a couple, and we're gonna scroll through them because I just want you to get an idea. Because there's a lot of them. If this is fake, then she's putting in a lot of good work.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, they should have like a phone in houses that just stay in one room.
Like attached to a cord or something?
Yes. Oh my God, yes. So it has to stay in one room so you don't lose it.
Girl, that's a thing. It's extinct now, but that's like all we used to have.
Jamie, don't take credit for my idea.
So why is it a weird thing?
I don't know. Today I just felt like my brain was like vibrating, like in a good way. But then on the way back to work, I drove by a full-grown man in the backseat of a van smoking a cigarette. Isn't that weird? Hey, Jamie, like again.
I don't know. The more I that's originally what I thought, that it's just too clean. But there's so many of these, and they come up all the time. Okay, well, there's not that many, but there's this many, and they all the characters are the same. I don't know. But all right, moving on. This one's a little dark. This one, this is a bad office take. This one's a little dark. I'm warning you.
Successfully sued my sperm donor, and now I get 40% of his paycheck.
I successfully sued my sperm donor. Now I get 40% of his check.
I'm a sperm donor, and yes, I've been court ordered to. Guys, so I'm here to give you an update on everything that's been going on and answer some questions and concerns that you guys have had and that I've seen in the comments. So first off, one of the most common comments I've seen is people saying that I should go for partial custody of the child or some kind of custody. The thing is that I had no part in making the child. I didn't want the child. I didn't even know the child existed. So that's just 100%. It's not going to happen. Something that I'm not pursuing whatsoever. Secondly, I did find a really good lawyer. Actually, a lot of you guys have mentioned him in the comments, and I hit him up, and he said he was more than happy to take on my case. It's Jayoma, and this man is literally a miracle worker. I don't know how.
Shout out to Jayoma. If you guys remember, there was a thing with Tyler Oliveira where he did a video with Jayoma and was the Better Call Saul of the real world. And so this guy is getting help from him, and hopefully is going to get his get his money back, or not have to pay. But yeah, apparently if you are a sperm donor, then they can sue you for for child support. Not cool. Moving on, we got this thing. Shout out to Dr. Phil. Shout out to a guy who burps. I also burp. Welcome to the party.
Well, if children know who they are, which they do, and their parents seek out the information to help them be happy in their skin, who are you to block them from doing that?
I think the important question was if children know who they are.
If children know who they are. Not a good burper on command. It happens.
Children do know who they are.
Do they know?
At what age?
At 3, 4, 5, they know who they are. When they're switching and swirling, they know who they are.
Come on, bitch.
That when I started my transition, I was able to transition earlier in life because
Of course, you wish you were able to transition earlier because you are living this life and apparently have not yet met the regrets. And maybe you're one of the very, 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 very few lucky trans people who will always, until the day you die, be happy with your transition. But for you to project that onto children and not see that that's what you're doing is disgusting. It's disgusting.
I wish that when I started my transition, I was able to transition earlier in life, because that helps you be more feminine or more masculine by using the blockers. You know, that helps people blend in society more.
I say something about the idea that kids know who they are. I think the very existence of detransitioners shows that that's not true. Because these kids arrived at the clinic confident, 100% convinced that they knew who they were. Their parents were 100% convinced, apparently because they gave consent, that these treatments are correct. And yet, these kids, very shortly after they got double mastectomies or subjected their bodies to irreversible, often sterilizing treatments, and by the way, if you do the full course of medical transition, even just hormonal, it is guaranteed chemical castration for the rest of your life. And these kids went into that office knowing who they are, and yet very quickly after that regretted it.
Jesus died.
No less important, the doctors who saw them were convinced that these kids know who they are, and they got it
But
wrong.
how often does that happen?
Okay, so great question.
Yes.
In order to have a good, reliable picture of the rates of detransition, we're going to have to wait at least another decade, probably two. That's, by the way, what clinicians in Europe are saying now, because regret can take a long time to manifest. If you've got your breast amputated at the age of 15,
and that's why I say, even if that person decides that they want to continue with the transition through their whole life, because it's very, 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 very possible that they decide, actually, I like being a man. Well, they said just because these people think that what is in their pants and what their pronouns are is all that describes who they are, doesn't mean that that's the standard everybody should use to describe who they are. Great.
Full consequences of that may not be apparent to you until you're in your mid-30s and can't breastfeed. But current research does show, I mean, we have one research paper from 2021 that showed a 30% discontinuation rate of hormones.
Yep. One thing is, you can't just know who you are. Knowing who you are takes all kinds of twists and turns throughout your whole life. Who you are is in the journey, not the destination.
And, you know, that rate is likely to go up and up and up because the protocol being used at these clinics is kids know who they are. There's no safeguarding. There's no second guessing of a kid's stated identity. And the fewer safeguards we have, the less questioning that we do of these kids' motives and mindset, the higher the rate of regret and detransition and medical harm is going to be. So,
just that simple. It's just that simple. It is the math of the situation. It is the math of the situation. And it's really sad. It's really sad that, you know, this dogma that this is a good thing has been pushed so far that it's going to take at least a decade, if not more, for us to see that, oh, we were wrong. It's going to take even more time for people who have given their all to this message to deconstruct their ideology and be able to see, oh man, I was wrong. So we have a very, very, very long road ahead of us before this becomes anything. Yeah, it's been proven wrong already, but we're on a long road before your average person knows that. So also, it doesn't matter if they know who they are. That isn't what they are. Yep. Punchcast said they want to force one brush for all types of view on everyone. They aren't just happy with how they are. They want everyone else to conform so they don't feel alone. Yep. Indeed, guys. And it is scary, but that is what dogma does. And so, I would not be the Indian Jesus if I did not leave you on a religious post.
Jesus died for our sins. He did the most loving thing in history. Did he, though? And was it, though? If he died for our sins, then why doesn't everybody just go to heaven automatically? And even if you say that he died just to get rid of original sin, how come the consequences of original sin are still around? Things like painful childbirths and menstruation. How come we still have to kill things in order to eat? what exactly did Jesus dying on the cross actually do for us? And really, was it the most loving thing in history?
No.
What did he actually give up? He didn't
weekend.
stay dead. He gave up a weekend. And saying that he died for us is manipulative because we didn't ask him to do that. But if our salvation is tied to believing that he died for our sins, then that is not a gift. Jesus supposedly dying for our sins is a transaction. What this gift feels like is whenever there's somebody selling roses and they hand your girlfriend a rose and then they say, this is totally free, don't worry about it. And they're like, aw. And then you go over to the boyfriend and be like, hey man, pay up. It's not a gift if you got to do something.
I said, shit, me too, Nick. I like him a lot. I like him a lot.
Hey man, pay up. It's not a gift if you got to do something to receive it. And why did Jesus need to die for us to begin with? Why? Why was that even a thing? First of all, I didn't eat any no fruit in a garden that somebody told me not to eat.
Me neither.
Why should I have to pay for somebody else's mistake? And to take that even further, why did somebody need to die to fix that mistake?
Well, that's a question you don't hear too often. Why did somebody need to die to fix the mistake that somebody ate a fruit that they were told was good, but still shouldn't? I want to post that he went on a 3-day bender to Mexico to snort coke off a prostitute's booty. Got to get those sins out the way before it's all forgiven. There you go. There you go. I might like Jesus a little bit more if that was true.
Did somebody need to die to fix that mistake? Why did it need to be a different person other than the person who made the mistake that needs to pay for the mistake?
Yeah, why was Jesus and all of us paying for the mistakes of Adam? Why didn't Adam just have to pay that price?
So Jesus needing to die for our sins that we did not personally commit is insane. Now, if I were...
Just in case you missed it, that's insane. You're insane.
Not personally commit is insane. Now, if I were about to take a bullet and Jesus jumped in front of that bullet and took it for me, that would be a little more loving. But there again, only if he doesn't expect something from me in return for jumping in front of that bullet. Because a gift is only a gift if you don't expect anything in return. If you expect something, it's a transaction. That's why I gave back my membership card to the Jesus Fan Club. Because he didn't do anything for us if he expects to get anything back. You see, because if Jesus really wanted to do everybody a favor, he could have just come to earth and said, look, everybody, all debts forgiven. Everybody is free from sin because I came to live among you and tell you, I forgive you and I love you. And then he could do the Oprah thing. You're getting it.
But wait. He could have done that and he just didn't. Why? And why is that not a reasonable question?
Because I came to live among you and tell you, I forgive you and I love you. And then he could do the Oprah thing. You're getting into heaven and you're getting into heaven and everybody's getting into heaven. But you got to wonder why he didn't do it that way. And you want to know why? Because it's really hard to get people into those churches and it's really hard to get people to give up their money without fear.
Are you sure we have free will? I'd like you to prove that. So I'm gonna we're gonna do one more. I think this one's on religion as well, but it has a tinge of blaming racism. So I think we might be, I think we might be I don't know. Let's just see what we got. And we're going to call it a night. Head to the after party. That is right, guys. Especially if you were gifted a membership, you now have access to the after party. As soon as we are done here, we are going over to Discord to the after party. If you are not familiar with Discord, that is totally fine. It is very, very simple, and I am more than willing to explain how to use it. Just make sure you click the link. If one of the mods could, I think Unwanted Foe just recently dropped that link. Again, that is where you're going to get all of the goodies for being a member. So let's finish this one and head on over because I want to hear what you guys have to say.
Can someone explain to me how religion is still a thing in 2024?
Nope.
How do we still have religion around in 2024? Listen, this might be a hot take, but let me explain, okay? Religion has been involved in every single atrocity and suffering that has been committed on our planet. Religion is always involved. In fact, I can't even think of one good thing that mankind has benefited from that came out of any religion. There's not a single thing, not one thing that you can say that's one good thing that mankind has benefited from that came out of a religion.
If you would like to argue that the values of religion are beneficial, then you would first have to prove the counterfactual that without religion, we never would have discovered those values at all. And you can't do that because we don't have that counterfactual.
Not a single one. But now, let me tell you, every single thing that I can think of that's negative that came from religious people. Okay? It's because...
Those are good things?
What?
He said good things. You think 100 million deaths is a good thing? I'm gonna humbly disagree. Sammy said, I'd love to debate this on a personal level, but I've enabled myself by deleting Discord. Okay. Well, you have the... I'll be there.
A group of people wanted to extend their religion to the rest of the world, that we got both colonialism and slavery. Religion is the foundation of racism.
They were committed by atheists who were saying, in the name of atheism, we are going to kill people. Or they just happen to be atheists. Because we can play this game. Guess what? Are you wearing socks or shoes? Because, you know, Hitler wore socks and shoes, so let's not forget about the Holocaust. That is faulty logic. That's not how that works. When people are killing people in the name of God, then yes, you can attribute it to the religion. When people just happen not to believe and are killing because they're bad people, then you don't get to attribute that to atheism. Sorry.
Colonialism and slavery. Religion is the foundation of racism. Literally. Every single religion has a racial group that is representative of it. Every single religion. When you talk about Christianity...
Exactly. That's my point. It wasn't religion that had atheists do anything. So the only thing that has been done in the name of religion, if we're going to talk about death, is in the name of Christianity, in the name of Islam, in the name of whatever. There's never been death in the name of atheism. I mean, point it out if you want, but good luck.
Every single religion. When you talk about Christianity...
And if you find an atheist who has said, in the name of atheism, I'm going to kill people, I guarantee you 100 out of 100 atheists will disavow that person and say, no, I don't, that's just a crazy person. They happen to call themselves part of my group, but I don't accept them. Unless you are willing to say, yes, the Westboro Baptist Church are exactly what I claim those motherfuckers, then that's dishonest.
That is representative of it. Every single religion. When you talk about Christianity, you see the risk that comes with it.
Right. People, kings, queens, peasants, people have killed forever. That's because people can be bad. What does that have to do with whether or not God exists? Because guess what? Most of those kings and queens believed in a god or gods.
When you talk about voodoo, you see the risk that comes with it. When you talk about Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, all of it, you see the race that comes with it. Listen, I remember I was in India. I had a conversation with a lady, and this lady told me something that I will remember forever. She told me, y'all expect all these people to act and behave like good people because they're religious, when the gods that they serve and worship are not even good people.
The gods you worship are not even good people. Carl says, I disagree with the Westboro Baptist Church because the God hates things. Exactly. So unless you are willing to grant them, then while you have the ability to distance yourself from the Westboro Baptist Church, I also can distance myself, as can every other atheist, from any person who happened to be an atheist in power and killed a lot of people. So your 100 million deaths thing goes out the window. I know that's Sal that said that, but this idea that an atheist did a thing, therefore atheism is bad, that is faulty logic. Unless they are doing it because of the atheism, then you say, well, this guy brushed his teeth in the morning, but brushing your teeth must be a terrorist warning. This guy brushed his hair. This guy wore a shirt. This guy ate breakfast. That's just things that people do. Unless it is in the name of the ideology, then you cannot connect it to that ideology. And guess what? Atheism isn't even an ideology. It is a mere position on whether or not you believe in a god or gods. That is it. You cannot get from I don't believe in a god to a god. I don't believe in a god or gods to people should die. You cannot get there. That does not connect. It is completely irrelevant. Sarah said religion was created by a mother that wanted to get the boy to have something to use as a play.
What?
I think it was more about people trying to understand the universe, but fair enough. Sal said you can call it secularism or communism, but it wasn't religion. It wasn't like, again, secularism is not an ideology. Communism is an ideology. I definitely would say it is communism. What are the tenets of secularism that would lead to people dying? Oh, there are none, because that's not what secularism is. Secularism is just a state of being. It is not an ideology. Shout out to Ricky Gervais, right? You get it? You get it. But it's so, like, how do you guys not see how frustrating it is that you're so gung-ho in general? You guys are so gung-ho about your religion, but you don't understand anything outside the scope of what your religion teaches. You have no clue. You have no clue. And yet you're so confident in saying things that you are absolutely incorrect about. Atheism leaves you with a cut flower ethics at best, which is not enough to keep most people in line morally. Breaks down real fast for weak people. Exactly, which is why you need a moral structure on top of that, because atheism is not an ideology, as I've been saying this entire time. Nick said even the Nazis were mostly Christian. Even if they didn't claim it, they were still people who believed not long after Hitler took power. Yep. I never said it was. You're the one who brought up the 100 million deaths, bro. I never said, people died because of religion, at least in this context. You're the one who brought that up. You're the one who brought that up. I agree with you that it wasn't about religion because they were atheists. It was about Marxism and communism. You're the one that brought up whether or not it has nothing to do with religion at all. As it has as much to do with religion as it does with their views on brushing your teeth. They are equally relevant to the deaths. I agree with you. That's why it doesn't make sense that you brought it up. Oh, I guess you forgot the 100 million deaths. That means that you think that they did the 100 million deaths in the name of atheism. That's what you are saying. Oh, man, do I have work to do. Oh, man, do I have work to do.
Are not even good people. Back then, I was young, so I didn't really get it. But now that I'm older, I'm starting to understand what she said back then.
No, it's not. Communists generally brush their teeth. How is that a fucking fair point? You're a moron.
I'm really starting to understand. Because even when you get in their books.
Okay. So let's just, so prisoners are generally atheists, or excuse me, prisoners are generally Christians. Therefore, Christians are bad, right? That's a fair point. Correlation is not causation. They have cliches for this shit. You can't get past level 1 thinking. This is the problem with dogma. You think you are so confident, or rather you are so confident in nothing. You know nothing. Yet you're so confident. Yeah, I have a lot of work to do. People out thinking they know shit. You don't know jack shit. Gomska said the love of power is what caused the communists to go after the Christians. The Christians were harder to control, so the communists went after them. It wasn't a war of atheism versus Christians. Exactly. That's why I didn't bring any of that up. Somebody else brought it up as a way to ding atheism, and then when it didn't work, what don't you get? The point that you're trying to make. Or actually, I do get the point that you're trying to make. You're just wrong about it. So, nothing. I get it. What don't you get?
Okay. Their gods are on.
Exactly, Carl. That's the fucking point. So you see how brushing your teeth isn't ideological? Neither is atheism. It is not an ideological thing to be an atheist. That is the fucking point. Welcome to the conversation. Now you get it. Now you get it. Brushing your teeth isn't an ideological thing. Atheism is not an ideological thing. Welcome to the conversation. Now you get it. Yay! Carl finally gets it.
In their books, okay, their gods are only good, somewhat good, to the people who worship them. In fact, a lot of religions, a lot of them.
No, it's not. What is the okay? So what's the explain to me the ideology? Go ahead. What's the ideology? This is the rest of the show. So, I mean, the rest of you can go do whatever you're going to do. What is the ideology behind God doesn't exist? What's the ideology there? Okay, so what is the ideology? What is the exact opposite of ideological of religious people? What is the ideology of atheism? Explain the ideology here. You're making a claim. In fact, I'll drop the link. Come on up and say it as much time as you need. Let's not worry about. Okay, and what is the ideology? That is the position. Yes, what is the ideology? So you either are dancing around or you don't know what the word ideology. Yeah, no, sir, that is not an ideology. An ideology is what you should do. There are tenets that say this is good or this is bad. You should do this, you shouldn't do that. That's an ideology. God doesn't exist is a position. Thank you for playing. Anyway, let's give a shout out to the sponsors of our stream. We had the Eerie Fairy Tale with the $3 super sticker. Thank you so very, very much. And then, damn, Unwanted Foe going in friggin' hard with the 10 gifted memberships. Then $10. And then $2 more. Thank you so very, very much. Again, secularism is just being atheistic. So what is the political ideology behind secularism? Again, it doesn't exist. You must, you cannot both say, who said the cut flower thing? So you cannot say it leaves you with cut flower ethics and then say that it's a bad ideology. Cut flower ethics mean you don't have it. You're speaking out of both sides of your mouth. Pick one. Is it cut flower ethics or is it an ideology? Oof, that's hard. You out argued yourself. I don't do it too often. It happens to the best of us, but good luck. If you'd like to continue this conversation, come on over to the after party where I have just joined. Be there or be square. Oh, wait. What do we got here? We got a super sticker. Oh, my goodness. At the last minute. All right, so we'll go on for one more video. There we go. Thank you so very, very much. And of course, that comes with a treat for Morty. All right, let's see. What do we got here? All right, this is another one where I agree. That's why you should stop. Let's move on to another one of whose side are you on?
Story time on how my kids aren't allowed to play with the next door neighbor kids. So last summer, I had these 2 kids over my house every fucking day, from sun up till sundown. Did their parents ever check on them? Fuck to the fuck no. Not once. I thought that was super fucking weird. When my kids ate lunch, The kids ate lunch because I didn't want to leave anybody out. They played in my pool. They played in my sprinkler. I gave them towels.
Okay.
They're playing with my kids' toys. They're playing on our jungle gym. Like, they're having a good ass fucking time.
Okay, before you go any further, I love neighbor tea, but I hate when we don't have both sides of the story.
I'm the neighbor.
This shit just
Okay.
spicy. Get your motherfucking tea ready.
Motherfucker, really?
So last summer, I had these two kids over my house every fucking day, from sunup till sundown, literally. Did their parents ever check on them? Fuck to the fuck no, not once. I thought that was super fucking weird.
So yes, my kids were over there a lot, but so was I because we used to be friends. Continue.
One day, their dad ordered like 5 boxes of pizza, and I was like, oh, he probably ordered it for you guys too. Me thinking because I take care of your kids literally every day and I'm a free fucking babysitter. Woo. But he called his sons over to eat. They come out and I'm like, oh, your dad didn't buy for everybody? No, we just got done eating 7 pieces each. And I was like, oh, that's pretty rude. And
7 pieces each? Now, I'm a small grown man, but I am, in fact, a grown man. And I cannot eat 7 slices of pizza. These are children. Just saying. Girl throwing her friend over the bus or under the bus? Under the bus. But, I mean, you know, if it's really something she did wrong, then, you know, I mean, we in 2024, it goes on the internet. Dirty laundry.
I was like,
where it belongs.
Oh, that's pretty rude. And I walked back in the house.
Now you know my kids cannot eat no 7 pieces each.
That's what I'm saying!
So actually, I was the one who ordered the 7 boxes of pizza. My husband wasn't even home. He was at work. And a matter of fact, we sat outside and ate with your children, Indio. We sat in...
So, based on the fact that the other girl was the one to start this by bringing her bullshit to TikTok, and the fact that it don't make no sense, and the fact that she sounds like she's telling the truth, I'm gonna go with her for now. For now.
We sat in my car, lifted the gate up. Me and you sat in the back of my car. Your kids brought over their little table. I went inside and got drinks, and I went inside and got plates for everybody, and we all ate together. My husband wasn't even home.
Friend, before we continue, how the fuck are these stories that much different? One side said your kids went inside and ate and said, fuck my kid. The other side's like, nah, bro, we all ate together.
Somebody lying. Why you always lying? Why you always lying?
What the fuck? But continue, I guess.
So I texted their mother and I said, you know what? Do you understand that your kids are over here every single day? Nobody bothers to check on them. I'm feeding them. They're in my water. They're in my sprinkler. I give them towels. I give them snacks. And I don't think this is fair.
It's not what she texted me. The only conversation we had where we didn't see eye to eye was when my kids were playing in her pool. So my kids are at your house in your pool. It is your responsibility to watch them. I was at work, and when I had got home, my son came running to me because your child hit my child in the back with a bat.
I think I did see that, actually. I think I did see that. Where they're like, we spent this much on snacks and this much on gas. And I mean, I'm glad. I am glad that I do not have kids. Let's just say that.
That's the conversation we had. And you couldn't see where there was some wrongdoing on your child's behalf.
How are the stories so different?
I don't think he's dying. That looks pretty natural. Like you can see, I got some gray that just naturally comes in this part. And if it were grown out, it would look pretty similar to that. I don't think that's a dye job. That's a pretty bad dye job if that's a dye job.
How are the stories so different? So the first lady goes on.
So before he goes into that, let's get from Unwanted Foes. So the kids sound like it's a formerly regular neighborhood setting. Maybe this is just a millennial parent thing. Maybe.
To say that the neighbor, the second lady, didn't allow her kids back after she texted her about the pizza incident. But the second lady says that's bullshit because we ate pizza together. The reason we didn't let my children come back to your house is because your daughter hit my children in the back with a baseball bat. And then later, the first lady said that the second lady let the kids come back. And then the second lady was like, no, my husband did because she wanted to give them a second chance. But your kids couldn't act right. So we banned them from coming back again. And the first lady's like, your kids are standing across the street taunting my kids. Bruh. Both of their stories are so wildly different. I don't know who to believe. Neighbor T is messy.
But never know. You never know. Shout out to Sal. Thank you so very much for hanging out. You have a good one. All right, we're going to do one last one. The last one from our boy, John. Check this out. Which trailer park do these people live in? And all over America, bro. So this one, it's hard to raise gentle children around terrible people. And I label this why you shouldn't beat your kids. So let's see what we got.
Listen, friends, you drug us into.
We said take a village to raise a child. But what if the village is retarded?
The pastor said it because we couldn't. No, I'm not sitting on the toilet, I'm sitting on the counter. Something, and I hope this don't go viral. It probably will. I got something to say. It's hard to raise really good kids around y'all terrible ass kids. Let me tell you something. When I first started making content on this app, on this account, this is my smaller account, I used to go viral all the time for talking about gentle parenting. And people who look like me, would be very upset that I didn't beat the shit out of my kids for making mistakes and being kids. And I just kept pushing along because I realized I have really good kids, man. This is when I just had the twins. This is when me and my wife just had the twins. But something that I didn't like that was a result of gentle parenting were really gentle children, which sounds great, right? But like the shit that I was observing for how they existed around other children.
Gentle parenting, I'm going to get you gentle children. It sounds like a good thing. But if they're around other people,
was terrible to me as a father, specifically my son. I would always see that he was really soft and gentle when the other boys were crazy. And I was like, am I making him soft? And the final straw for me was, it was like graduation day for whatever age group they were in at daycare. And he got an award for being the peacekeeper and being the most obedient child. A child who don't get whoopings. My child. They sat up there and everybody was like, oh, but they sat up there and they explained in front of a whole crowd about how if two kids got into a fight, my son would be the one to break it up. If somebody didn't feel welcome, he'd be the one to grab their hand and walk them to everybody else and let them play with everybody else. Never had any problems out of him. You know what I'm saying? Always listen to the teacher, all that shit. Now, my daughter, she wasn't bad, but she was like the leader. Like if she didn't want to do something, she would easily convince an entire class of children to do something else.
Well, like I said, I want to be a gentle parent until it's blatant disrespect and taking advantage of said gentle parenting. I mean, so obviously, again, I don't have kids. Would it not be ideal, and again, just on paper, would it not be ideal to try to, when they're young, be maybe a little bit more strict? And I'm talking, like as they're toddlers. Strict, and then by the time they get like 5, 6, I mean, I guess it's still a toddler, but up until like age 2 or 3, you're pretty strict. Like you keep that little motherfucker in line. But then by the time you're age 5, 6, 7 years old, and they're starting to have more complex emotions and stuff, that I think would be the time to soften up. And if you've already created the standard that, hey, I'll whoop your fucking ass, but you don't actually intend to do that, and you intend to go forward gentle parenting, but they know that like mom and daddy don't fuck around. I feel like that would be ideal, but I don't, I'm just talking shit. Shout out to Ethan Stroop. Welcome to the party. Good to see you. All right, I guess you guys are in agreement. Well, thanks. There's always a balance and a line. You know me. Keep the sword sheathed unless forced to draw it. Oh yeah. Sarah said I failed using the gentle parenting. What do you mean you failed? How'd you fail? I mean, kid's not dead, is he?
convince an entire class of children to do something else type shit. That was like her award. I forget what they called it. But my son specifically, he took after his dad, because at home I would always be real gentle with him, provide a space for him to lay on me, daddy, da-da-da-da-da. Him and his sister get into it. I'm being calm, breaking it up type shit. And I would realize that I was making my son kind of soft compared to the other kids, because these other kids came from households where they used to seeing people scrap, right? And I would notice when he played with these crazy, unruly ass kids that he would like have a hard time getting in and having fun. It wasn't that he lacked confidence. It was just like, these kids are animals. I'm gonna be honest with you. Nobody says this. It's hard to raise your kids where they nice, gentle, soft, and caring around kids who are not that way at all. Kids who parents get mad, grab a belt, and just start lashing them. Y'all think y'all disciplining them children, but at the same time, you're teaching them. You're teaching them. At the same time, they're getting disciplined. They're gonna learn to fear you and do all that, everything you say. But at the same time, they're learning. They get mad enough at somebody that they got power over, they're gonna grab something and start hitting them with it.
That's what Sarah's saying here, that my kids, specifically my son, since that they or he has the power. And I'm not making a direct comparison before you get everybody get their parent panties up in a bunch. I'm just using my own experience, not having children. And I made the same mistake with Morty, as a professional dog trainer, and constantly being around new puppies and puppies who or dogs who are, have been in a home without structure for however many years. It's very obvious when you see somebody who is not either not comfortable or not willing to kind of take the reins, and they just give in to whatever the dog wants. And I didn't know any better when I first got Morty. I got him in 2010, and it was just a dog to just be there. So I didn't know anything about dogs. I didn't know anything about dog training. I wanted a dog, and my girlfriend's friend had a litter of puppies that were an accident. So I took one. I took one. And 14 and almost 15 years later, he's right here. But what I realized before I got into training was that I did the exact same thing. Like that Morty has the like we have the dynamic of like being friends. And so like we're boys, but when it comes to like do what I tell you, he has this attitude like, who the fuck are you? And the fact that I give him shelter and food and stuff, that's always been there to him. So he's not able to see that that's a benefit that I give him, and nor is any dog. But I definitely let him be too much of like, do whatever you want as long as you're not messing things up. And then he just didn't have that same kind of respect. So, it's got to be tough. It's got to be tough. Carlos said kids are naturally like that to some degree. It's Lord of the Flies. Yep. Sarah said, I wrote that just as the video was playing, and that's quite surreal. Yep. In real time, baby. Real time. Glomtech said, kids are always testing. I can allow some pushback, but best believe it's not just going to be a free ride. You better come prepared to justify your actions, or there will be consequences. Are we calling people piggy? Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think anybody's being called a piggy, like a pig. Like I don't think that one. All right, let's finish this one up and head to the after
I
party.
know y'all don't like to hear this, but y'all need to hear this. So I ain't gonna lie, I did switch shit up. I don't be beating on my kids though. My son can really get in with the rest of the kids now, because now I like literally teach him, like, somebody make you mad, knock them upside, fuck it, knock them upside the head. You won't be in trouble when I get. He will always be so scared of like disappointing those in authority. He cared too much about other kids' emotions. And this sounds crazy, but like, bro, I'm telling you, it's hard to raise really good people around children who are raised by people who really don't give a fuck about them.
Oof. It's hard to raise people around people who've been raised about people who don't give a fuck about them. Damn. So, I mean, maybe Help Me Find the Funniest Video was not the ideal title for this. I think I'm gonna have to change that. That was a little, I thought that was a little bit more funny stuff here. But this is, like I said at the beginning, the type of show that I would love to be able to do is to just be able to, to come on here and be like, hey guys, what's going on? Send me a link on Discord and we'll check it out. And so this is, kind of in that. In that realm, I am definitely doing that at this very fucking moment. Is it P or nah? Is it P or nah? There we go. There we go. There we go. Is it P or nah? That's a little esoteric for what it is. I don't think anybody's gonna care about what I like to drink. But so we definitely, I think I'm going to move those to Fridays. And so until we finish the playlist, I think Fridays are going to be Philosophy Day. That way, if you're into it, then you know that Friday, that's what we're going to do. I know that, people are typically doing stuff on Fridays, so we don't always, we don't always have the regular crowd. But if that is something that you're into, then at least it's going to be on Fridays. So we'll start next week. And we absolutely are going to get through that entire playlist. I'm really excited about that. But wasn't as popular as I would hoped it would be. But that's the bringing as I think as the political landscape hopefully kind of smooths out from my perspective, and that the wokeness isn't as strong, and there isn't such a strong push from religiosity, then I think I might be able to not pivot, but just focus more on, I've always wanted to focus on what is preventing us from being able to have better conversations. And I really, really, really think that philosophy illiteracy is a big problem in terms of trying to have larger conversations. If all the philosophy is from one school of thought, it's not going to work, especially if that line of thinking is dogmatic. It's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. And you can cling on to it as long as you want to. And you can fight me every step of the way, and you can justify it a million different ways because people have dedicated their lives to figuring out the mental gymnastics to fix the cognitive dissonance that comes with religion. You can do that. They are way smarter than either of us. So you can do that. But I'm telling you, that is not the way forward. I am telling you that secular morality is the future. And that does not mean that you have to give up your religion, but it means that we need something better. Down with dogma indeed. Gomtic said, I like the philosophy lessons. More, maybe some more real world examples can help solidify the lesson. So yeah, as we, with something like that, the beginning is going to be the toughest part because we're getting it's very dense. But as we move on, then we get into different, like you're saying, real life things, the real world examples, the thought bubble and all that stuff. And so again, Carl, I would just ask you, if you were an atheist, what work did you do to replace your religious values? Because if you didn't do anything, then it makes sense why you would go back, because nobody can exist without values. You just either have religious values at this point or leftist values, which are arguably no values, but they are values. They're just really bad. And so a lot of people say this. That's not what I asked you. You see the defensiveness. I didn't ask you if you can replace them or not. I asked you how do you know? You said it didn't work for me. So I'm asking you, what work did you do to realize that it wouldn't work for you? Or did you just stop believing and expect your life to get better? Which is what religious people think of atheism. And that's not what it is. Well, I mean, that is what it is. But to be a moral person, because of the fact that atheism is not an ideology and does not give you, this is good, this is bad, you should do this, you shouldn't do that. There is work that you need to do, and that is where the philosophy comes in. And so again, the question is, what work did you do to determine that atheism didn't work for you? What is the work that you did? And I don't know. I mean, most people, the answer is nothing. My dad does the same thing. Well, I was an atheist. Oh, it's just a phase. Da, da, da. Just because you stopped going to church and technically were non-believing doesn't mean you did what I did and spent years studying philosophy, working on what does it do I think of the world? Do I keep this belief, that belief? That doesn't mean that doesn't mean that we're the same. And I'm not trying to flex on anybody. But when people, oh yeah, this didn't work. Did you try it? Like I could tell unwanted foe, oh, this what the fuck is it called? This sassafras shit is bullshit. This sarsaparilla is fucking gross. Well, did you taste it? No, I mean, you know, I like root beer, so tell me how what you're doing is different. I sure hope so, Sarah. I sure hope so. Context, I don't think you can really appreciate God until you've taken the time to be pissed off at him for a moment or longer, just like a real dad. I mean, I would definitely agree with that. I'm still in that moment, but it's not about me. It's about spreading the truth to all of y'all. When y'all get angry, well, I know the truth. The fact is, y'all get angry when you hear something that isn't your truth, and you think that you're so different from the wokies. But look how triggered you get. We did, like, how many different videos did we do? Only 2 of them were religious. And look where we are. The entire conversation shifts to religion because you get so triggered. Okay, good. I'm glad. I hope you know none of this would be angering, but you're definitely emotionally involved in it. So the fact that you guys get so animated, whether it's anger or passion or whatever you want to call it, it ain't coming from nowhere. If you didn't care, if you just that's silly, then it would go nowhere. And again, you don't have to. I'm glad that you guys enjoy debate. I'm glad that you have thick skin. I'm glad that you're having the conversations. But my point is not to be like, oh, I got you. My point is to point out that clearly you care enough to talk about this. Clearly you care enough to get into discussions about this. Where on all the other stuff that we went around that you disagree with me, maybe one chat here, one chat there. That's all I'm saying. Is be aware of yourself. And don't act like you don't care about this. It would be silly to say that you don't care. Of course you care. You should care. I care. You care. That's a good thing. Don't pretend that you don't care to try to be cool. That's not directed at anybody. I'm just saying, in general, it is okay to care about this. But realize that you do, in fact, care that I am saying these things. You do care. If you didn't care, you would have left. If you didn't care, you wouldn't type in the chat. And I'm not asking you to do that. Again, I am glad that you are here. I'm glad that you care. But the next step is engaging in the possibility that you are wrong. That's it. And that doesn't mean that anybody has to be, know thyself. Exactly. Doesn't mean that anybody has to be angry. It doesn't mean that anybody has to be disrespectful. It doesn't mean that anybody cannot get passionate. Again, the point is we care about this stuff. So we are going to get passionate. But there's always respect at the bottom. There's always the idea that we are looking to achieve the same goal, find the truth, and create the best society that we can do. I sure try to. So thank you for hanging out, guys. I really do appreciate it. Even when we get in disagreements, that's what this is here for. That's what this is here for. If you're not able to get into these contentious conversations, then nothing is going to be solved. None of this is easy. And it might be more fun for some of us than the rest of us. But this is how we move forward. Okay. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. I really do appreciate you. Once again, big shout out to the donations. Very, 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 very much appreciated. Again, big shout out to the sponsor, of the stream. Unwanted foe coming in and taking that spot. Thank you so very, very much. I do appreciate you. Again, if you are a new member, make sure you send me a DM so you get the permissions to join the after party. We are headed right over there. Until next time, guys, thank you so very, very much for hanging out. Once again, this is Morty, and I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, we are out of here. Peace.